Yo, what's up everyone? What's up PlayStation Nation? You are now tuned in to the What's Up PlayStation podcast.
What's up? What it is, what it do? What's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up. What it is, what it do? What's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up.
They don't need no introduction. You already know what you getting, and that is facts with a discussion. The greatest to bless the mic without the needless interruptions. Face it, we got an anatomy like a little bite of me for a concussion. You know what's up, man. I mean it when I seen it, I was proud of these brothers. They entertain the people every week without cussing. And you don't ever hear the drama, they keep it clean on the podcast. Independent duo doing it big when they broadcast. Haters need to see them doing positive things. PlayStation Nation got you, ain't it obvious, man? We pulling up every week and showing love in the chat. Unlike these other channels, these guys are showing their back like, what's up?
What it is, what it do? What's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up. What it is, what it do? What's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up.
They don't need no introduction. Persona, the gaming politician, politicking for the come up. Division and vision require precision, decision that gotta be thought of. The potential is exponential. Gaming credentials is what they brought us. Get caught up. You know, Bari bring the passion when he's speaking from the heart. He the best lisp on YouTube, climbing up the charts. And when Persona speaks, he gon' tear the mic apart. Intellectually, of course, cause you know the boy's smart. They cover the news with integrity, so you know it's a must watch. Ain't no console war, just two brothers being a font. What's up, PlayStation? Got the Saturdays locked. And if you ain't tuning in, you missing out. Get blocked.
What's up? What it is, what it do? What's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up. What it is, what it do? What's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up.
Yo, listen, man. I really do appreciate everyone that always comes through to rock out with me and Bari, man, on What's Up PlayStation podcast. A podcast by fans for the fans, or by the community for the community, I should say. Listen, man. For me, man, I'm gaming with Persona. If you enjoyed listening, definitely subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'm a PlayStation fan too.
Yo, what's up everyone? What's up PlayStation Nation? You are now tuned in to the What's Up PlayStation podcast.
What's up? What it is, what it do? What's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up. What it is, what it do? What's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up.
They don't need no introduction. You already know what you getting, and that is facts with a discussion. The greatest to bless the mic without the needless interruptions. Face it, we got an anatomy like a little bite of me for a concussion. You know what's up, man. I mean it when I seen it, I was proud of these brothers. They entertain the people every week without cussing. And you don't ever hear the drama, they keep it clean on the podcast. Independent duo doing it big when they broadcast. Haters need to see them doing positive things. PlayStation Nation got you, ain't it obvious, man? We pulling up every week and showing love in the chat. Unlike these other channels, these guys are showing their back like, what's up?
What it is, what it do? What's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up. What it is, what it do? What's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up.
They don't need no introduction. competition. Persona, the game and politician, politicking for the come up. Division and vision require precision, decision that gotta be thought of. The potential is exponential. Gamer credentials is what they brought us. Get caught up. You know, Bari bring the passion when he's speaking from the heart. He the best lisp on YouTube, climbing up the charts. And when Persona speaks, he gon' tear the mic apart. Intellectually, of course, cause you know the boy's smart. They cover the news with integrity, so you know it's a must watch. Ain't no console war, just two brothers being a font. What's up, PlayStation got the Saturdays locked. And if you ain't tuning in, you missing out.
Yo, what's good, people, man? It's your boy Persona, Gaming with Persona, one half of the What's Up PlayStation podcast crew. And welcome to episode 171 of What's Up PlayStation podcast, a podcast for the community, by the community. I'm your host this week, Persona. And we got a good show for you guys today, man. We got a great show for you guys. And as you can see, it's not the usual out overlay. It's three boxes you're looking at on the right side because we got a special guest this week. A very, very special guest, which we're going to introduce. But before we introduce the special guest, you got to get the other half of What's Up PlayStation podcast. Mr. Light Bright himself, Mr. Trust Issues, Mr. Wearing a Hoodie, Mr. Shrimp and Broccoli on Pizza.
Absolutely.
We were just having a conversation in the back room before we went live, and I am appalled and disgusted by what Bari has said. Shrimp and broccoli on pizza. Ladies and gentlemen, put the thumbs down. I need the thumbs down in the chat. But yo, Bari, what's good, brother? How you doing, man?
Hey, listen, man. Don't knock it if you ain't try it. Don't knock it if you ain't try it. Listen, it will change your life. And then after you try it, then you say thank you. But yo, what is good, YouTube? What's up, PlayStation Nation? Welcome to another episode of the What's Up PlayStation podcast, episode 171 to be exact, man. It's going to be a special one because, we got the Brady Bunch going on around here. You know, it's three people today with our special guests that we're going to introduce soon. But we just want to say what's up to the beautiful PlayStation Nation, the beautiful people in the chat. Welcome. Yo, and also quick shout out to Ice Queen Gaming. It's our birthday today. So happy birthday, Ice Queen Gaming. Definitely appreciate you and all the stuff that you do here on the channel and the support. Yeah, we see my man Paris. Paris Lily's in the chat as well. Shout out to Paris in the chat. And shout out to all of you that's waking up early in the morning to rock out with the WUPS boys, man. But today's going to be a good one, Persona.
Yes,
it's going to be a good one.
Yes, it
you
is.
know what I mean?
100%.
I see a lot of emotions. It's going to be going up and down with this stream.
Hey, Bari, we might be eating crow. I think the chat gonna get at us this week, especially after our live reaction.
Changing of minds.
Yeah,
a lot of changing of minds.
Yeah,
but hey, that's just life, you know.
Yeah.
But let's get it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we do have a very, very special guest with us this week, man. The founder of Spawn on Me, uplifting voices of color out here. Just had a sit down with Wale. I saw. You understand? Doing big things out here within the industry, man. A big shout out to Kahlief Adams here. And fun fact, he was the community. Can I say this about Concord? Can I say that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, totally.
He was the community manager for Firewalk Studios, and that was part of the Concord development. This is a special one for me and Bari because, we all played the game together. We loved the game, regardless of what the community might say. But yo, big shout out to you, Kahlief. We really do appreciate you being here, man. Introduce yourself and shout yourself out to the people, man.
Well, first of all, Bari and Persona, thank you, gentlemen, for having me. Again, one of the best PlayStation podcasts, one of the best podcasts on the planet. I continue to appreciate and love the work that you both do. The energy that you bring to this space and into this industry has been needed and necessary, and it does my heart good to see y'all continue to grow and have built such a wonderful community around, this love of PlayStation, this love of video games. So thank you so much for having me. Most folks know me from Spawn on Me and the Spawnies, our award show that we do every year. I've been in the game now for probably around 12 years or so, 12 or 13 years in the space. And just been rocking, and hopefully people have been digging the work that I get a chance to do and appreciate what I get a chance to kind of bring to the space as well. So thank y'all for having me. Excited to be rocking with y'all today.
Yes, sir. And it's great to have you.
Yeah, man. Like it's great having you on here. That's why Concord is definitely a special place in my heart because we met you before at PlayStation Experience, like back in 2015 or whatnot.
Yeah.
That's when we was the council podcast and we had them shirts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like, yo, these shirts was dope or whatnot. We connected there, but Concord definitely had us, reconnecting, chilling, playing the game and all that stuff, man. So I'll always appreciate that with Concord. But yeah, it's a pleasure having you on here. Thank you for joining us. And yeah, we're gonna take you on a ride, man. The WUPS boy. Listen,
I'm ready.
Be prepared.
I'm ready. I'll have to preface and say to clarify my position at the space, because there was I gotta give a shout out to Bethany Hulse, who is the community manager of Note. I was there for about a year as a senior community manager at Firewalk, and then left the studio then. But it was a great time, and I wanted to thank y'all both for not only talking about the game as much as you did and supporting it in the ways you did and playing it with me and so many other folks in the community, and giving the team some love with the work that y'all been doing. So appreciate that from a former Firewalker and former part of that team. It's dope to have y'all talk about it and share what the good news was when it was out.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah, 100%, man. Yeah, Bethany's she's cool people. She's dope.
Yeah,
Bethany's fantastic. She's great people.
Kahlief, you're kind of low. Even like when I'm adjusting the sound, can you up yourself just a little bit? Because it's saying it's slow.
My gate is always mad low. Sorry.
Oh, okay, cool.
Keep going.
All right, yeah. So definitely, like I say, Concord, and this ain't a Concord podcast, but just real quick, Concord is definitely a game that Bari and I both loved. And it was good. It was a fun game. We played a lot. Kahlief, Bari, me and you played quite a bit. So it's definitely a game that we both, all three of us, I think, really enjoyed and appreciated. So
yeah, let me know if my levels are still too low.
No, you're good.
I'm really good. Okay,
yeah,
perfect.
Yeah, Bari, you're good too. Say something. Bari?
Hello.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, cool. All right. Yeah, listen, guys, we build it as we fly. You understand? That's what happens, man. You grassroots, you got to do what you do. You feel me? But before we get into anything, just tell the people a little bit about your show, Kahlief. Spawn on Me. How did that come about? What kind of brought that on? And 10 years, you celebrating 10 years. That's definitely a huge achievement. Over 500 episodes. That's that's massive.
What's the origin story?
Yeah, what's the origin, man? Definitely got to hear that.
It's funny because we share a story in that way, Persona, because we were both, you are continuously and still a person who works in the IT field. I was a person who started in the IT field, many years ago, with the work that I did back at DC 37, back in New York, working there at the Union. And it was really that. It was me, I've been playing games forever. I've been playing games since I was like 3 or 4. I just turned 46 in August.
Oh, congrats, man. Happy belated birthday, man.
Looking young.
Trying, man. Cocoa butter work.
Listen, talk to him, man. It's the cocoa butter, the witch hazel. You understand? That's all it is.
Yo, don't stress yourself. Don't be around stressful people. You stay young looking.
There you go.
And I was doing some work and I was hanging out and I was sitting there and I was like, man, I really love video games, but I don't have an outlet for being able to talk about it or trying to discuss it with people. Because when you're in nerddom, and especially when fandom and nerddom isn't a super prolific thing, like I think in the past 15 years or so we've seen that really grow in a space where everyone is like letting their nerd flag fly, right? They're like, yo, I'm a nerd about this or this and this. That wasn't the case all the time. Like people would clown you if you'd be like, yo, I like anime, or people, I like video games and stuff. So I was sitting there and I was like hanging out with my boy who I was working with, and he was going through a transition of like, man, I really want to do something different. And I was like, yeah, me too. Maybe I should do this video game writing thing that I wanted to do. So I was like, let me just knock it out and figure out what it was, and started a blog called the Spawn Point blog. And that rolled for a couple of years. And then it's actually interesting because PlayStation is the reason why Spawn on Me is kind of, in the space, because there was a game called Sound Shapes at the time. Oh, yeah, and I was a huge Sound Shapes fan. Love that game. I love music. I love music making games and things like that. And during the times that game was going out, there were people in the community who were making levels for that game. So I was like, yo, let me reach out to some of these people and see if I can interview them and have that be a part of the content for my blog, because I was like really excited for it. So fast forward a year or so, start getting all these interviews together, and I get this email in my inbox from folks at the PlayStation blog. and they were like, hey, we're thinking about doing this weekly thing where we uplift and showcase, folks who are making levels in the game too. You're already doing it. Would you like to be the person who writes those articles on the PlayStation blog? Oh, and nice. I was like, what? I was like, are you out of your mind? Because the PlayStation blog at that point was huge. You know what I mean? Like that was the place to go find any information about PlayStation news outside of the big GameSpots and IGNs and all those other places. Like they were breaking their own news on that blog. So I was able to, co-write, pieces of content on the PlayStation blog for a bit, which was a huge thing for me and for the show. And then fast forward a couple more years, the blog dies down because people don't know how to read, and people don't want to read, which is a trending thing that seems to be happening as well as during this time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the headline. That's all they read. That's it.
Oh yeah, like yo, that looks like clickbait. Word. And I was like, yeah, let's do a podcast, right? So why not? So started the show, and former host Cicero Holmes, my homie, he jumped on. We had a game of 2K one day. We met. He reached out to me and was like, yo, I love what you're doing. You're supporting Black people and uplifting their voices in the gaming space. Yo, I'd love to be a part of it. And then we started Spawn on Me. Spawn on Me started, around 2013 or so. And we've been kicking it ever since and pushing and making great content, and hopefully it supports and spotlights the people who look like us and who are from our cultures and represents who we are in the space in an industry that doesn't necessarily talk to us and doesn't really necessarily pay attention to the needs and the wants that Black and brown people and people from underrepresented groups have. So it's a labor of love. It's very hard. It takes a lot of effort to get a show like this to 10, almost 11 years of work. But I hope people appreciate the effort and appreciate what happens when a quality show gets out into the world, and now we get a chance to do dope stuff with amazing folks like y'all and amazing folks like Wale coming on the show and hanging out with us and doing that kind of work. So word, it's been a fantastic ride and continuing to push.
That's what's up. Yeah, especially in a market where you see like everybody got a podcast, so you want to stand out, you want to get your word out. But yeah, to do 10 years, that's a great feat, man. And you brought up something special that I always loved about the PlayStation blog, which they don't do anymore. Okay. The drop for the week. They used to have the drop for the week, and I remember doing videos with a drop when I had the Lil Wayne beat, let that beat feel. and all of a sudden they stopped doing the drop, man. So sometimes we gotta scour the internet now on WUPS just to find like, all right, what games came out for the week for PlayStation. But it works out. But PlayStation, bring that back, please.
Yeah, it was fire. It was real dope because you got a good roundup of stuff that was coming for the rest of the month, and a lot of insider information and deep dives into stuff with developers. It was really great to be able to see that stuff. I do wish it would come back for sure.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's funny. I have a question too about kind of like your journey through like podcasting.
Yeah,
and so like the first question I would ask is, what would you say is your proudest moment through your 10-year journey with Spawn on Me, and then what you think would be kind of like your most disappointing or lowest moment that you can think of with Spawn on Me, but still kind of that you still kind of, it was a low moment, but you grew from it and became better because of it.
Ooh, that's a great question. I think my most proud moment is when we did A Lesson in Blackness. That episode was transformative, not only for our show but for the gaming industry as a whole. Like I think during the conversation around the murder of George Floyd and the kind of repercussions that came from that, there was a space where discussions around us and our humanity and who we are as individuals was really taken into account and taken into question, which is a thing that happens. I don't want to get too political about that stuff, but it's a thing that comes into the space a lot around who we are and what we are as human beings and people. And it was great because we got a chance to sit down with some of my favorite people on the planet and talk about our feelings about what was happening in a way that bridged the gap between video games and culture and humanity. And I think we, I don't think we get credit for it, but I do think we changed the video game industry in a much bigger way than anything else could have when it came to those discussions. So I'm extremely happy and proud of that. You can even still go check that thing out. It's on YouTube and it's still there and on the feeds. And I think my lowest moment was, sadly, you know, I talked about my co-host Cicero Holmes and my other co-host Sharif Jackson, who we had on the show for a couple of years and really they both brought something very special to the table. But now you can see it's a one-person show. It's not a three-person show. And I learned a lot through that experience of what it's like to lead a crew of people. To what it's like to manage, you know, conversations in internal business.
Not easy.
And that part makes me sad because it was like we just couldn't get to the finish line to get to the same direction, and that happens. It's like, you know, when you build a thing, you have a good vision for it, and then when you need to kind of pivot to make it bigger, sometimes not everybody is in alignment with that stuff.
They're not on the same page.
They're not on the same page, and it's not like, I love them. Like, I think our show isn't as good without them than where it even is now, even though we've had like a ton of growth since the separation of our crew. But like, I deeply love them. Like, the energy that we had on that show was just very, very special on that version of the show. And that camaraderie and that layer of, man, you know, get to bounce off each other and vibe off each other and that kind of stuff. So I wish that there was a way that if I can go back in the time machine and fix that and rectify that, and, you know, so I take responsibility for some of those pieces because it's just hard. You don't know how to make stuff happen. You know what I mean? It's hard. Like, I think the thing that people don't understand about making content and, you know, getting to a space where, you know, you get bigger and you still continue to grow is like, no one knows how to do this until you start.
Yeah, for real.
Like, you really don't understand the process of growing a business and marketing yourself and getting everyone together and doing that on a week-to-week basis. Again, we do a weekly show.
Yeah.
That's a lot of brain space that you have to allot, especially if you're like, I want to be a good husband. I want to be a good human being to my friends. I want to have time for myself to be able to chill out.
Life,
Like, there's a lot of layers to being a content creator, and hopefully a content creator who is worth their salt and is doing it well. And you need help to be able to get that stuff done in a way that's really going to propel you. So that was my lowest moment, but I think it birthed a different version of the show that gives me a lot of runway to be able to figure out other avenues to be able to be good about in the video game space about what the content that we do is. So that's a great question. I love that question. That's fantastic. I think you learn a lot. When doing a thing for a decade.
No, it's constantly
adapting and all that. You know, when you're dealing with multiple people doing the show, is definitely like the biggest like struggle, not like struggle that you have to have, because everybody, like, as you adapt or as you evolve, everybody else evolving too as far as their life and just.
Not only that, but it's also, you know, especially, you know, I guess I'll use WUPS as the example. You know, me and Bari started the show like 4 years ago now. You know, there are times, you know, and even before we used to do podcasts and stuff like that with the council podcast and everything. But, you know, there are times in content creation where your energy is not there, you know? The energy isn't there. And it's not that you don't enjoy it. It's just sometimes you get that burnout or you just, that day you just don't have it, but you still got to put on, because when you have that audience, you don't want to pass on that negative energy or you know, whatever off to that audience, because that can push them away. So you always have to come ready to go and things like that. And that's one thing I appreciate about like our WUPS community, because when me and Bari take our little sabbaticals, they get it. You know, like, listen, all right, WUPS gonna be gone for like a month. All right, cool, we'll be here. You know, so like but I get that 100% with the clashing of the personalities and whatnot.
And I'll add this one last piece, because I had a really great conversation at an event a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a month or so ago. And I am a person who believes in reverie, right? Like, I believe that you have to have reverence for the space that you occupy to be able to be good in it and do things well. And I have a reverence for the video game industry. I have this industry, and my love for video games has given me a career. It has given me, visibility in a way that a kid from the Bronx who was told they wasn't going to be shit never would have had without video games, right? So it's like I get a chance to be able to do things that very few people on the planet get a chance to do because of video games and my love for it. And I had this conversation with someone, Jeff Gersman, who, former Giant Bomb and now doing his own thing on his own show. And he said something that was very, very poignant that has stayed with me. I haven't necessarily used that advice to its fullest because, like you said, you have ups and downs and there's days when you don't want to record. But he was like, never miss a week. He's like, if you ever miss a week, the audience will go somewhere else. And it's important because now you're in a different space now. Like even 4 years ago, when you started the show, that cycle has changed. Expectations are different. Attention spans are infinitesimal at this point. Like things are small in that respect. So like whenever you have an audience that cares about your work and cares about you, it's a beautiful thing to foster that kind of stuff. So I would say, pay attention to those layers for folks who are thinking about getting into the podcasting game, because I tell people to continue to think about it. You do have a voice and there's a ways that you'd be able to talk about stuff because it's now easier than ever to be able to do that kind of stuff. But like be respectful of the space and be respectful of people's ears and time. Because it's a huge part of all of this. I never want to waste anyone's time with my work. And sometimes I don't put out stuff because I feel like I would waste your time with it. So like I appreciate the perspective and love that question. That's dope.
Thank you, man. And like you say, especially with content creation in general, if you got a full-time job, family, things like that, again, when you sit down in front of that camera, you got to be on, regardless of if you just fought with your significant other or the kids being bad or you had an issue at work. You can't bring that to here because this is your other side of things and your other persona, no pun intended and whatnot, right? So it's definitely a heavy undertaking. But yeah, thank you. Wise words from you, man. You're a veteran in this industry, so the advice that you give and whatnot is definitely appreciated. Real talk.
Word. You're BX native too, man. You know what I mean? So
I
knew there was a shine to you. I knew there was a shine. Like I saw the glow. You know what I mean? I saw the glow and I was like, yo, there's something about Kahlief, man. Like I can't put my finger on it, but now I can put my finger on it. You get what I'm saying?
I love New York. New York is me. Like people get it twisted all the time because I don't wild out all the time, but like the Bronx raised me. I am a product of 216th and Laconia, Gun Hill Road.
Oh wow!
216? Olinville? Oh come on, bro.
Yo, that's the I went to 135.
Yo, that means you're a yachty. You got some Caribbean in you.
Oh, yo, man, look, man, I'll tell you the story about my boy who got hit with a beef patty and started a fight.
Listen, over there, listen, many squabbles, doesn't playing ball, and
man, it was like Gun Hill Road versus the Valley when I was growing up.
Oh yeah, yep.
I used to live over in Parkchester for a bit, over by St. Ray's. Like I used to, my video game teeth were cut at the Q Lounge right on.
They don't know about the Q Line, yo. Gun Hill, yeah.
Q Line,
yeah.
So like that was my arcade. Like I didn't get a chance to go to rest in peace to the Galleria Mall up in Westchester, up in White Plains. But like that was where I cut my teeth. That was the first time I played Mortal Kombat. Was in the Q Lounge on.
There was the Q Lounge that was lower, close to Eden, not Eden Wall, but what's the high school? It's Truman rival to Evander, yeah. And then there's the other bigger one, the bigger
Clinton.
Yep.
Clinton, Evander. I went to Truman High School.
I went to Truman as well, man.
Mustangs, baby. Mustangs, baby.
Oh my God.
Shout out to Section 5. You ain't coming out alive, Section 5.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
See, look at that. Look at that. Man, we are forever tied now. We are Truman Mustang. I still want my Truman Mustangs jersey. I need a Truman Mustang football jersey. That was the worst field on the planet. Anyway, that's a whole other conversation. Anyway.
Y'all see how quiet because ain't no Queens talking here. So I'm gonna let the Bronx do.
We don't care about Queens, man.
You see, it's two
a Mustang, bro.
It's
Mustang, yo. That's what it is.
2v1
Yo, they
this
changed Truman so much now. It's like different schools in there now. It's crazy.
Madness. But shout out to Co-op City.
Yo, listen, if you survive Truman, that you're a real one. You know what I mean? Because I witnessed some boy.
All I'll say is the bridge to get over to Truman into Co-op City. Man,
better make sure you know the people. I used to walk that bridge all the time, man. My first time I got jumped was over that bridge. Boy,
I see somebody get thrown off that bridge.
Yep. Now they put the gates up. They all gated up now. So
we so hood. I love it. It's beautiful. I appreciate it so much. See, and you get podcasting too. You
exactly.
It's a small world, bro. It's a small world.
World is small.
The possibilities are endless, man. Don't feel like you are stuck to just one thing because of your environment. You feel me?
Hey, I've been across the world. My voice has been heard across the world. And that came from a small, kitchen table when I moved to Brooklyn. But it was like, it's always been a part of that thing of like the beauty again of the work that y'all get a chance to do is like you get a chance to have your voice be shared across the planet.
Yep.
That's a wild thing to think about. Right? Like
not for real, because like even like with us, we got people in like South Africa and UK and just all over the world that like rock with us, and it's crazy when you think about it. Germany, France, Paris, like it so many people all around the world that just rock with you when you think about it, and it's just like wow, like the power of the internet really is it's a powerful tool that can really propel you if you use it in the right way. But yeah, man, it's good to have you here, man. We definitely got some news and some things we definitely gonna be talking about, man. You feel me? Shout out to the people that are here, man. Appreciate everybody being here. With that being said, we got to get into the games released for the week. Something that PlayStation doesn't do anymore. But shout out to Push Square because Push Square holds us down. They say, "WUPS boys, we know y'all do the show every week." And y'all use the article. We're going to make sure we keep it updated. And I checked the article this week, and they updated the article because they knew.
Nice.
Kahlief on the show. We got to make sure we come proper. Shout out to Push Square.
Shout out to Sammy Barker.
Yep. Shout out to Sammy.
Doing his best job updating the PlayStation Nation.
Facts. So with that being said, man, let's get into it, man. And so the games that released this week are an Arcade for the PS5, Beyond Galaxy Land for the PS5, PS4, Bloomtown, A Different Story for the PS5, PS4. This game looks awesome. I definitely.
I bought it.
I bought it too. I didn't get to play yet. I'm gonna check
they had
out.
like a sale on it too. PlayStation Plus, little sale on it.
Control Alt Ego for the PS5. Disney Epic Mickey Rebrushed for the PS5, PS4.
Another one, man.
You bought that?
Mm-hmm. I love the hell out of this game. I'm gonna dedicate time so I can play it because I love this game. Yeah. It's not a long game, but I had to, man. The remaster looked great, so or remake, whatever they're calling it.
Then we got Rusty Rabbit for the PS5.
Watch your mouth, man.
What happened? What happened?
This is a PG show, man.
Hey, man, that's the name on the screen.
my bad. Sorry, Kahlief. My
bad.
Hey, I almost got cut by that person once.
Yeah, by Rusty Rabbit.
Yo, this dude funny, man. Zom Farm for the PS5, PS4. 63 days for the PS5 and PS3. I think they mean PS4, not PS3.
Yo, I do see it. Yeah, PS3.
No
that's crazy.
No way.
You never know.
I mean, maybe. You might.
I'm sorry, I just saw one of the games on the list that's coming up. Sorry.
Astria 6-sided Oracles for the PS5. Cat Rescue Story for the PS5, PS4.
Game of the year.
Crossbow Blood Knight for the PS5. Earth Defense Force World Brothers 2 for the PS5, PS4. Exographer for the PS5. Games Advent Calendar 2024 for the PS5. Go Mecha Ball for the PS5, PS4.
Mecha Ball is dope. Go check that game out. That game is fire.
I'm gonna look. What is it, like a sports?
It's an isometric. Think of Marble Madness.
Okay.
Way back in the game, but like kind of. But like you're a ball who's like it's like a mix of a shump and the game I just said. Marble Madness.
Okay.
It's really dope. It's actually really dope.
Then we got Iron Meat for the PS5.
What game? Yo, Persona,
I'm not
man.
saying-
Yo,
yo,
this is the problem right here. This is what happened when Persona be hosting these shows, man. He be having these weird game names out
yo,
here, man.
look.
What this game is about,
bro.
Persona? Can you explain?
I can't explain nothing about the game, bro, because I ain't pick it up. I ain't look into it. What you talk about?
Hey, yo,
I'm gonna Google it right now.
everybody in the chat, if you want Persona to review Iron Meat, put a one in the chat.
I'm sorry, chat. Even if you do, it won't happen. Yeah.
Oh god, it's a run and gun shooter.
Really?
Oh,
Yes,
really?
It is. It's a running gun. I don't
I'm
know what you're
curious,
shooting
though.
at your meat, but it's a run and gun. Shooting
Iron
at
Meat. That's crazy. All right. Then we got Monopoly for the PS5.
Which is fire. I want people to play me in that.
Yeah, I haven't played Monopoly in a minute.
Yo, high key, it looked kind of cool, bro.
And the AI.
It's old
cheats.
school.
Yo, the AI be cheating. That's all I'm gonna
Always.
say.
I still got the Ubisoft version of Monopoly. I haven't played Monopoly in a minute, man. Might have to do a Monopoly night.
Yo, it's
I haven't,
fun.
played, I haven't played Monopoly in a long
If
time.
you ever want to
too.
fight somebody, play Monopoly.
Hey, yo, Monopoly ruined
yeah.
friendships for real. Hey, yo, listen.
fact.
Monopoly will ruin friendships for real.
Monopoly, Trouble,
Uno,
Uno.
Spades.
You know, my game was Payday. I don't know if y'all remember Payday was a board game where you went around the board, but it's like 30 days or 31 days, and every time you do that, you get paid, and you got to pay bills.
Oh yes,
It was
I
wild,
do
man.
remember that. I do remember that.
That was my
Yeah,
joint.
that's a good call.
And then Spades, of course. You know, Spades.
You remember the good old days going to Toys R Us and
Yes.
going to the board game section and getting a board game.
Oh,
Listen, one
man.
Candyland, Sorry, Trouble.
Oh, yeah.
What
What's
else?
what's the worst board game you've ever heard of?
Worst one that I've ever heard of.
Yes.
That's a good question. I never like
'Cause
Clue.
I have one. I have one that is the worst one, and I own it because I had to buy it once I heard the name of it. It is the dumbest name for a game, but it's amazingly stupid. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
There is a board game that is called Life of a Black Man.
Get it.
Really?
I will turn my camera off, run to the back, and go get it.
What is it about? I mean,
It is literally, and this is made by a black man. It is
That's
literally
wild.
trying to describe the struggle of the black experience. And it's like life. It's a game like life.
okay.
Oh, Life. You remember Life?
Like life. And you have this moment where it's like, do you want to go to college or do you want to go to jail?
Oh my God!
I will
Listen,
get it. I will get
I
it.
need,
It's
I
in the
need,
back.
I need that game at PAX East.
No.
I got every board game over there. I need it at PAX East. I'll be
Life
right
of a
there in the
Black
back
Man.
with the people playing that.
I don't need nobody from Boston playing the life of a black man.
Yo, listen. Hey, oh yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if you want
You
that
know
in
what?
Boston.
You know what?
Not in Boston.
That's where you right.
Maybe
know
PAX
what?
West.
To not mess up the show, I will go grab it. I'll take a picture of it and I'll post it on my Twitter. So
Yo,
you can
yeah,
see
I
it.
definitely want to see that for sure.
Yeah, it's wild. Anyway, sorry.
And then last but not least, we got a EA Sports FC 25 for the PS5, PS4, El Paso Everywhere for the PS5,
Yes.
Five Nights at
Yes.
Freddy's Into the Pit for PS5, PS4. Yo, I'm gonna sound like a hater because I never
many
played
games they got, bro?
Five Nights at Freddy's, so I'm this might be part of my ignorance. But looking at the gameplay, I just don't see the hype with this game, yo. And I don't know why this game is just it took off the way it did. I just don't know. But that's the game industry. That's the game community.
Halloween stream.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
And-
Really quick. Did y'all play El Paso Elsewhere?
No. What's that?
Please go play El Paso Elsewhere.
Okay.
Shout out to the folks from Strange Scaffold. There's a cat named Zalavier Nelson, one of the dopest black devs on the planet. He's amazing. Has one of the best soundtracks I've heard in a game. I think if there was a music of the year category, because it came out last year, go play that game. It's you're basically a vampire hunter looking to get your girlfriend out of hell.
Okay.
And it's fantastic. It's basically Max Payne.
Really?
Yo, it looked cool. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
It is one of the dopest games on the
El
planet
Paso
that doesn't
everywhere.
get enough love and support a dope black dev. So
All right, I'm gonna check this out. And then
Yeah,
last but
see,
not
that's why it's great to list off these games. You know what I mean? Because there's stuff that we miss or anybody else
Mhm.
missed that somebody can recommend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it,
Very, very
googling it. It looks cool.
It's very, very good.
And then last but not least, we got Looney Tunes Wacky World of Sports for the PS5, PS4. That's
Shout out to Iron Meat.
No, Iron Meat look fire.
Hey, yo, listen. Hey, yo, look, man. Look. I gotta look at this real quick, man, because y'all, Iron Meat.
I mean, look, it's better that it's called Iron Meat than Iron Schmeat.
Yo, I can't wait to get my hands on Iron Meat.
Oh, it's made by Iconoclast.
Pause.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's made by Iconoclast. By the Iconoclast devs. It looked like it, at least.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so you can't wait to get your hands on Iron Meat?
I mean, there's only better
it's old school. Okay. I can see myself playing this. I'm getting Metal Slug.
Oh yeah,
Castlevania vibes.
Look at that.
Okay.
That's
I like games like this.
All right, I can rock with it. All right, the name threw me off, but I can rock with it.
Get your Iron Meat in full HD.
Hands-on impressions?
Nah, listen, ain't no hands-on or nothing, right? We just gonna try the game out, and we gonna keep it pushing. You heard?
Yo, imagine if they got the dual sense feature.
Yo, listen, bro. Yo, why you put that image in my
I really don't want to know what the physical edition looks like.
I don't either. I'm good. No collector's edition on that. I'm good.
No collector's edition on Iron Meat.
Yeah, I'm good. But yo, we are in the spotlight portion of the show. And
spotlight Iron Meat.
So the spotlight portion of the show is where me, Bari, and our special guest Kahlief will give you a game or games if we decide to break the rules that y'all can check out, right? It could be brand new games, it could be old games, it could be games from your childhood, it could be games that haven't even released yet. The purpose of the spotlight is for us to spotlight games that we think you, the community, should check out. So Kahlief, you are a special guest this week. So what is your spotlight game for the week, and are you gonna break the rules?
I'll give you one because I don't want to break the rules.
Okay.
I want to be a nice person. I already took up too much time laughing at Iron Schmeat. But this is a plea for help alongside a game that I think you should check out because I need more people to play with me on this game. If you are a big fan of the MOBA space, and especially the third-person MOBA space, I would say one of the best games you can check out is a revamping of an older game that has now come to fruition called Predecessor. Fan of Paragon.
Yeah, Paragon.
That was the pre Fortnite game before Fortnite became a thing. I would say definitely go check out Predecessor. It is it's a weird transition to go from Iron Meat to Predecessor. But it is fantastic. It is a third-person MOBA in the Paragon mode of gameplay. One of my favorite MOBAs of all time. I've been playing it a ton, and I'm asking people to play it because most of the people in the community suck. And I need better teammates.
Yo, we used to put in some work in
Paragon, yeah.
In Paragon, I used to play the Twin Blast dude.
Me, you, Coy, and Michi.
Yo, as soon as the podcast is done, I'm gonna go jump out and get some games in. But I think it is if you have a competitive spirit, it is fantastic for that kind of thing. Again, there's a learning curve like most MOBAs are, and a learning curve about items and characters and all that kind of stuff. But I'll tell you, when Paragon was a thing, it was my go to bed game. Like that was the thing I'd play every night with a bunch of people to be like, yo, I want to get that vibe off. Because again, like MOBAs don't really happen on console except for Smite.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like Smite has that locked down in those spaces, and until League of Legends gets onto console, like we're not going to see this in a space yet. So I would think it's a beautiful game. They're continuing to make updates. The team from Omida Studios have taken that game once it died on the Epic side, and they've literally taken that game from the grave and made it dope again. So go check that thing out and definitely rock it. And if you play, let me know. We can squad up and get some games in. And
it's on PC,
please,
right?
It's on PC. It's on the other console that won't be named. And also because I remember the chat that we had. I remember that conversation.
I was eyeing your controller in the back, but I let it rock. But now
the Spider-Man joint is here.
Oh, okay.
The other consoles are here too. This got gifted, so I needed room on the desk. But anyway. that Jordan joint is pretty cool. But Predecessor is the game. You should definitely go check that thing out and definitely get some games in.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Cool spotlight. Bari, what is your spotlight game for the week? And are you gonna break the rules?
I'm gonna break the rules a little bit, Persona. That's a little bit. Okay, that's a little bit. But first and foremost, I wanna apologize to the gamers, to the PlayStation Nation, because I was bashing this game. Okay, I was like, what the hell is this? Why is everybody hyped for this? This game cost $5. What's going on here?
Oh my God! I know what's good.
I might have said a comment or two against Paris Lily. Paris Lily, I apologize. Paris Lily, Kahlief, I apologize. Vampire Survivors.
Oh yes.
Oh my God.
Yo,
yes.
That shit heat, bro. That shit heat.
The game is so good.
I'm sorry. The music. Yo, I'm over here at work. Okay, I'm one-handing this thing while I'm typing up emails, like, you know what I'm saying? Yo, Vampire Survivors. It came to PlayStation like a month ago or something like that, and I was like, you know what? I'll play this, whatever. I decided to download it one time, and I'm like, I'm addicted. I can't put it down. I'm over here in bed on the portal, just like playing Vampire Survivors, man. It is a dope game, very simplistic as far as like what you have to do, but the strategy comes in as far as what power-ups and things you want to pick up, and then it gets crazy. You know, I love my bullet hells, and it gets crazy in this joint, man. The highest level I got up to was like 108 or 106, something like that, right? And I don't know how you can get past this Reaper dude, but he always comes and just kills me up. But we'll figure it out. But it's a lot of content. I didn't even know they had like expansion packs or whatnot. But I'm all in. I'm all in. Hey, listen. This is me, Jay Bari. I apologize, man. I apologize. Vampire Survivors heat. It's heat, yo. I promise y'all, it's only like $5, or it might be even cheaper than that. If you play it, you're gonna be addicted. I promise you. That
means you won, Bari. That means you won. When the Reaper come and get you, that means you beat that level.
Oh,
yeah, that means you won that level because you can't kill it. At least from what I can tell. So I think you actually beat the joint. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm like, yo, I'm over here setting goals for myself. I can make it to 120. Nope. It's just like,
yeah, because I think it's like 25 minutes or 30 minutes per level, and if you get to the full 30 minutes, the Reaper comes and kills you. So you beat that level. So you Vampire Survivors.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Does it have a platinum?
Yeah, it does. Yo, bro, there are 220 something trophies. The base game got a platinum, but it's like so much expansions and so much other things you can do. It's really, really good, man. So yeah, that's the first game I'm going to spotlight because it's a cheap game, but I'm pretty sure you all will enjoy it as well. Gundam Breaker 4 is my other game because I'm finally getting into that now. Where I can dedicate a little bit more time since I completed Wukong and other games, and I'm really loving it, man. I love the fanfare that they give. Just like if you're a Gundam fan, this is the game for you, man. Like it's a lot of stuff. I do think that SD Gundam that came out like a year ago or 2 years ago is a better game, but that's the way how they have you building the Gunplas now, and everything is stat based with it, with every part and component is really, really cool, man. So I just love that stuff. So yeah, Gundam Breaker, second game. Third game, Persona. Yes, 3. This is the last one, okay?
Bari is a rule breaker. He'd say I'm a rule breaker. Bari a rule breaker.
This is the last one because
line stepper.
Yes.
Because I was hyped for this game. It finally came out. Didn't get the time to dedicate so much play time to it because personal life and things that happened the past couple of weeks. But now I finally laying down and playing it. Marvel vs. Capcom fighting game collection, man.
Ooh,
what a beautiful collection, yo. What a gorgeous collection, man. And everybody that you play online is good. Yep. But right now what I'm trying to do is like I'm trying to play through the story because to get the platinum, you just got to play the stories of or the arcade modes of everything. But the way how the game feels, the way how they do the collection, it gave you that arcade feeling, man. And I'm just like, now that I can dive into it, I'm just remembering a whole bunch of stuff, man. Like, yeah, this is a love letter, man. Like, and I will support all these Capcom fighting collections because you don't want to lose this stuff ever again. You know what I mean? So Marvel vs. Capcom fighting game collection. And I really want to learn Marvel vs. Capcom 2 because I know everybody's playing that. You know, I got into a match in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 very quick, but the other ones, it definitely takes a little bit of time to get into those. But everybody played Marvel vs. Capcom 2, so I'm like, you know what? Let me actually try to get a team, you know, together and try to, you know, get some work done. But I'm still gonna be on my Marvel vs. Capcom 1 and X-Men vs. Street Fighter, man. So later on, like I said earlier, before in the weeks past, definitely want to do like an event for Marvel vs. Capcom fighting game collection. Like I said, we're gonna got to get everybody gathered up together so we can talk about like what we want to do. I'm pretty sure Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is definitely going to be like the main one, but I personally want to do the first one or X-Men vs. Street Fighter. But you know, we'll talk it over with everybody. But yeah, man, those are the three spotlight games that I'm highlighting this week, and you know, hopefully y'all check them out eventually.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Those are good spotlights, man. And then for me, man, I'm gonna break the rules, but I'm gonna be brief. My three spotlights. First one is gonna be Visions of Mana. It was developed by Oka Studios, published by NetEase, and obviously, you know, it's a Square Enix IP. And you know, I love the Mana series and Visions of Mana. I beat the story this week, and now I'm kind of just working towards the platinum and whatnot. And I love this game. I love the combat in this game. I love the story. I love the characters. The way you can kind of build your characters up and mix and match the different vessels and whatnot to like have different types of builds for your characters. Like you can have like a tank build, a DPS build, a mage build, a white mage build. Like it's just such a great fun game that I love. And you know, I can't wait to platinum the game. I should have the platinum this weekend, but Visions of Mana is my first game. Great game. Second game, something that got announced at TGS this week that excuse me, I cannot wait.
Let us know.
It is Threads of Time, man. This game, I can't wait for this, yo. This, I love the art style. This is made on UE5, made by Rio Games. It's coming to Steam and the other platforms. I'm getting this on Steam. I love this. I love everything about this. This game looks absolutely gorgeous. It looks really fun. Turn-based RPG. It's inspired by JRPGs as well. The story looks like it's going to be cool. The mix in between like the more 3D to the sprite base, I like that. The battles look like they're going to be great. This is all up my alley. I'm getting Sea of Stars vibes. I can't wait for this game. I'm very excited for this game.
Now I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, this is
dope.
Yeah, this looks really great, man. So Threads of Time. Cool. Threads of Time is my second game. Look how beautiful this game looks, man. Like,
man, that looks dope.
I can't wait for this. So yeah, Threads of Time is the second game for me. Very excited. And then the last one is a game I just randomly saw PlayStation promote on their Twitter, and I was just like, yo, I gotta pick this up. So this is something I'm gonna play or jump into over the weekend. But this is also a turn-based game where you like the characters, they can control these monsters. It's kind of like from what I'm understanding, it's a bit like Persona, where like you can control like different types of beasts and things like that, and it's turn-based and whatnot. And so this looks dope as well. I love this, and this was only like $26 in the PlayStation Store. It's currently out now, and it's called Bloomtown: A Different Story. Very cool game. Very cool game. I'm gonna jump into it this weekend. But like I said, I just randomly saw this scrolling through Twitter, and I saw PlayStation tweeted this out, and I looked at the trailer and I was like, I'm sold. So I picked it up. We're gonna play it this weekend. I will report back probably next Saturday on next Saturday's WUPS. But yeah, I'm digging this game as well. So definitely my spotlights for the week. And yeah, let us know in the chat. You know, what are y'all spotlights? as well, man. We definitely love to see what the community is playing or what they want people to check out and whatnot, because we know all gamers don't have the same taste. Everybody's got different tastes, as you can see with the 3 spotlights. Kahlief spotlighted a MOBA, Bari spotlighted a bullet hell and fighting games, and I'm spotting like RPGs. We all don't got the same taste.
Go buy Balatro. Go get Balatro.
Balatro. What is that? Let me look that up real quick.
Balatro is on mobile, but it's I don't think it's on PlayStation yet, but it's a great game to go check out. It's like,
hey, yo, Threads of Time. I need you to get your stuff together and get that on PlayStation. Thank you.
Yo, Threads of Time I've not heard of that. That looks wild.
Yeah, they just announced it 2 days ago at one of the events.
TGS, was that TGS?
Yeah,
drop?
TGS. Yeah, TGS. It was at
it
TGS
really
event for Xbox.
Yeah,
Xbox event. They had promoted it. Yeah.
Balatro is crazy, fam.
Okay.
Like, if you like card games, that joint is nuts.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was wondering. Okay, I'm digging that. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna look into it. Yeah. All right. So that's the spotlight, guys. Now we definitely got to get into some news, man, because it's a lot of things that we got to get through, and state of play, PlayStation 5 Pro, all that good stuff. But Kahlief, here on WUPS, it's a monthly tradition where at the start of every month we judge PlayStation, but not just PlayStation. We judge PlayStation Plus for the month. We're always judging them, and we give a score. So October's PlayStation Plus games got revealed at their state of play, and the PlayStation Plus games for October, the free games, is WW 2K24, Dead Space, and Doki. What is it? Yeah, Doki Literature Club Plus.
Yes.
So looking at this upcoming October's free games, what's your thoughts on them, and what score would you give October PS Plus games? Like a letter score.
Let me triple check and just make sure if this is the Dead Space remake.
Yes.
Dead Space remake.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's a remake.
Okay, so I would give this a 9 out of 10 because WWE 2K24 is the best version of the WWE games that has been out for a while. I have made my character, as I always do every year in that game. Kaka Beware is in the game, busting people up, putting you in my new finisher move called the Iron Meat.
That's gonna be the joke throughout the show, ladies and gentlemen. Just
I can't not do it. But it's fantastic. I mean, I love that game. It is fantastic. I think it's really well done. I think 2K has done a really good job of lifting that game up. Doki Doki, I have not played Doki Doki, but I feel like that is. But every time I hear that name, it is something that has a lot of reverence in that community for folks who love those kinds of games. Mm-hmm. So I can't speak on it, but I know I give it massive props because it's super dope. And Dead Space, I'm a huge Dead Space fan. I'm a massive Dead Space fan. Look, I'm a big Dead Space fan.
Yeah. You got the merch.
And I have to say, I'm a little bit biased because I am in Dead Space, so I can't be mad at that game being in.
Wait, you're in Dead Space?
I'm the only person on the planet who has an Easter egg in the new Dead Space game. In that Dead Space game, I'm literally the only person on the planet who has a cock and cook thing in that game.
Really?
So I'm gonna just say, go play that joint. If you find it, shoot me a tweet and take a screenshot of it. But that game is I'm again big Dead Space fan, and you should definitely go play the remake because the team did some really smart stuff in that game. If you have not heard about it, they changed the flow of the game where you can go through the whole entire Ishimura. In one go. You remember you used to have it was broken up in sections, and now it's a full ship. Mm-hmm. They did a lot of cool stuff with the way that the dynamic monsters kind of come into the space. If you go into a room and if you die, if you go back into that same room, things will be different. Like you'll hear different sounds. The lights may be on or off. The monsters may pop up in a different space and come out of a different, part of the. It is one of the best versions of a remake that I've seen in a very long time, and it's better than the remake. It's like they've actually changed the way that game plays. So yeah, if you can find the dope Easter egg, go see that thing. So I give this whole thing a 9 out of 10 for sure.
Okay. Yeah. Bari, looking at the month, man. How you feeling, man? Talk to me.
First and foremost, I like what PlayStation's doing. Nice little theme, Halloween, scary game, Dead Space. I'm giving it an A minus, around the same ballpark, 9 out of 10, because I feel like you have impactful games here. So yeah, the WWE 2K, not my bag anymore to play wrestling games, but I will add it to my library. You know what I mean? Maybe I have a little fun with creating an own character or whatnot. We'll see. I don't know, but I'm with it. Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. I'm good on that. I did hear people like that stuff, but I'm good on that one. But Dead Space, typically, I'm a puss, right?
Oh my god.
I don't play the scary games. I avoid it. So Dead Space on PS3, I played a demo. I packed that demo. I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm not playing this. So when the remake was coming out, I say, you know what? I've been giving Resident Evil, the go, all these remakes going that I missed out. Been giving it a go. Let me go and play Dead Space. I love the hell out of this game, bro. I'm close to the platinum too. You know what I mean? I think I'm like probably 3 trophies away from the platinum. But I did put it down, you know, play other games. But I love the hell out of this game, and I like the fact that when you beat it on your new game plus, you got the other armor that they give you looking fire. You know, you look like a Reaper out there. You know what I mean? So, but I definitely want to look out for that Easter egg. But yo, I'm a fan. I see why people love this game, and I felt like the remake did a wonderful job because it felt good to like, what's it called, the plasma cutter. You shoot the plasma cutter and you just taking off the limbs of these necromorphs, I think they call them. Yep. And then you have the little ability where you can the telekinesis, and then you can just throw the parts back at them. It was fire, man. Yo, I'm telling you, this game is heat. It's a really, really good game. So offering something like that in the service, yeah, I'm giving it like an A minus. I'm with it.
Okay.
I like it.
Okay.
Great start. This is the beginning. The catalog game's coming later, but great start.
Yo, for those that have been following WUPS for a long time, y'all know the past couple months I've been pretty critical of PlayStation these free months, man. I ain't really been feeling them. And the streak's gonna continue. I'm giving it about a B minus. You know,
my heart.
Hold on, man.
So
hold on, man.
What's up?
Hold on, man.
It's Doki's fault.
Yo, Persona.
What's up?
I'm about to kick you in your shit, man, because you get on my last goddamn nerve, okay? You get on my last goddamn nerve. A B minus, you think that's a bad score? Brother, you know when people want a B minus in high school or college?
It's a B minus to a C. It's a B minus to a C. The reason why I say that
I thought the setup you had, I thought you was gonna give it like a D or something. You know
not no D, not no D.
F minus.
This man said, yo, I've been critical of PlayStation. I'm gonna give it a B minus.
I don't know. I want to be in Persona's class. I get my grade.
That curve is hella nice.
Yes, we grade on the curve. You know, we grade on the curve.
We need to have this discussion. I got to bring your parents in. We got to talk about your performance. You got a B minus, man.
B minus, man.
Hey man, listen,
you see potential in me.
Listen, cover hole back in the day with a B minus in the household. That's like an A. You good, man? Yeah, listen, that's an A, man. But
ain't nothing that's to put another line through it.
Yo, listen, there you go. Listen, you gotta learn how to play the game. You can't do that now because everything's digital. But back in the day when we was growing up, when they put the grade on the paper, you just get a little piece of little white out real quick.
Try to match it.
Yeah,
like, practice a little bit.
Yep. But not. I give it about a B minus. The reason I say is because WW2K. I haven't played a wrestling game since '64. No Mercy, ECW. Those were my jams. I haven't really been that big into wrestling. And then like in today's time, I'm not really that big. I don't follow wrestling that much anymore. Even the shows, like I don't really watch that. So like my interest in wrestling is just not there. I've never, gamer confession, I've never played a Dead Space game before. So, yeah. So, I don't know what I'm missing with Dead Space, but the remake does look great, and it is something that I'll definitely get to at some point. So, that's it looks cool. And then Doki Doki, I'm good on all that, man. That's too far in the weeaboo section for me. You feel me? Like we gonna pull back a little bit. The Doki Doki, I'm good on Doki Doki Literature Club, man. That's that ain't for me. So yeah, it's about a B minus.
Dope. I would say if you do get into Dead Space and you do make that leap into it, absolutely you must wear headphones.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I heard the sound design and especially in this remake is really, really good.
Yo, I ain't even gonna lie to you. At first, I wasn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like I said, I'm scared, man. I'm a scaredy cat when it comes to these scary games. When it comes to movies and all that, I'm good. But the games, so I didn't wear headphones. But later on, I put the headphones on, and I was like, yeah, it's definitely the best way to play.
Yeah.
Because now I was going through the game, I know where the enemies are. I was like, yeah, I'm good now. I'll put the headphones on now. I'm good.
Mm-hmm. They be whispering to you.
Mm-hmm.
They be talking to you. It was wild.
I definitely opened the shades. I did. I ain't gonna hold you.
Oh, you played during the day? You played during the day, not at night?
Hell yeah.
Oh my god.
Listen,
Yo,
I ain't trying to get that
a game like that.
Night.
Yeah, like a game like that, I'm playing like at nighttime, especially it's Halloween time. I'm playing at night. I'm gonna have the surround sound going.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have it on the big screen. Like I want to get immersed in games like that, man. Like or had to set headphones on, get that 3D audio going. I'm trying to get immersed. Nighttime. That's the best time to play it. But just to keep in the realm of like PlayStation Plus, just to get through some quick catalog news. A long requested game is coming to PlayStation Plus catalog. We don't know the date yet, but I do want to just, put it out there. Dino Crisis and Legacy of Kain, Blood Omen, both coming to PlayStation Plus catalogs soon. Now, I would imagine it would be coming before the end of this year. This was announced at the State of Play. They announced that Dino Crisis and Blood Omen Legacy of Kain were coming to the Classics collection for Plus. So, look forward to that. Have either of you played those? Are you guys fans of those series or?
Oh yeah, I played both of them. Dino Crisis, I definitely played Dino Crisis. I haven't never completed it, but I definitely played it. But this was like one of the first games that they teased when they had the whole catalog thing. So now that it's finally coming out, it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Or same on that.
And then the other bit of news real quick is Last of Us. Who here hasn't played Last of Us, right? I think we've all played Last of Us. And Last of Us Day was September 26th. And to celebrate not just the 30th anniversary of PlayStation, but also Last of Us Day, Last of Us Part 1 is now available on the PlayStation catalog. This is the remake, not the remaster. It's the remake. So the remake, the new game, Last of Us Part 1, that is available for you to play. And also in part of Last of Us Day.
Gorgeous game.
If you play The Last of Us Part 1 between September 26th and November 26th, you'll get a special collectible if you are a PlayStation Stars member, which is a clicker, which I think is pretty cool. And then also for Last of Us Day, you get some free avatars. You get Joel, Ellie, and a clicker avatar for your PlayStation profile, which is pretty cool. And then obviously the merch for Last of Us Day. I have a question for y'all. Kahlief, I'm gonna start with you, Kahlief.
What do you got?
Because you got your ear to the industry. You connected.
Yeah.
Clearly, Naughty Dog has to know that they got to do a little bit more when it comes to these Last of Us days, because I just feel like Naughty Dog is one of the few studios that is just super quiet. And I get it, especially with the cancellation of factions. But to you, when you're celebrating, like, Last of Us Day or any type of things like this, would you want to see more, or is this like enough for you?
Well, the thing that's hard is like, it all feels like a big tease, right? And I think that's the part that, like, first of all, the fact that let me take a step back. It is really presumptuous to have a day around your game. to be fair, I'm a huge Last of Us changed the video game industry in many, many ways. But it is wild to have a Last of Us Day for your IP and then expect people to care every year like it's Christmas. That's wild. But I do appreciate the fact that they are continuing to double down on kind of sharing stuff like this. But it all feels like a big tease, because I'm like, where's more Last of Us stuff that's not that's in game form and not an old version of a game or a remake of a game or that kind of stuff. I want more stuff. I want what everybody else wants. Tell me on Last of Us Day 2025 that we got a multiplayer coming, or we got a new version of a game coming, or we got some of that stuff coming, because that's what I care about. Besides the TV show, which is fantastic and brilliant and coming back very soon. But like, give me something that that's tangible. Like, I like the fact that they're doing this. The avatars are cool. The giving people the older game is cool. But like, I want new stuff. I want new things coming out of that world. It's interesting that you bring that up because the thing that just popped into my mind was a thing that I think Naughty Dog does really well is they dig into their own IP, right? Like there was that fantastic Uncharted spin-off that had the two women protagonists.
Yeah, Lost
Legacy,
right? Yeah.
Lost Legacy, and Lost Legacy was fantastic.
It was.
Why don't we have a Lost Legacy-esque thing out of the Last of Us universe?
Especially part 2.
Especially part 2, right?
Yeah.
Like you have so many characters who are in that space that you could have potentially used to be able to dig into and pull in from. And
the funny thing is, you got that with Last of Us 1 because of the DLC with Ellie and
with Homegirl.
I forgot. Yo, I'm a big Last of Us fan, and I forgot her name. Yo, the chat gonna get me. Riley. Ellie and Riley.
Yeah.
There was a whole
the black girl name. Come on,
whole
man.
DLC around. Yo, chill. Yo, chill.
Y'all ain't fans.
Hey, Kahlief, don't. Hey, Kahlief. If he knew, how come he ain't correct? How can you say that? You see, he capping.
I knew Riley.
So why'd you say that then?
Somebody in chat said it first.
Don't lump me on. Don't lump me in with y'all.
Yo, he trying. Yo, Kahlief. You see, we ain't even going.
He ain't no Riley stan.
No, he ain't no Riley
stan. Pictures in the picture booth.
No, he didn't. Capping. But yeah, like something like Ellie and Riley's adventure in Last of Us Part 1 as an expansion. We don't have nothing like that with Last of Us 2.
Yes. Right. And I would love that.
Yeah.
That would be fantastic. Because again, it bridges that gap, that gives people that space to be able to go back into the world. You can do some new things because it's been a couple of years. You can do different things in terms of story, in terms of mechanics, all of those things. And that will actually satiate the community who has been really wanting new stuff to come out of the Last of Us universe that's not just the TV show and not just what potentially the other art pieces can be. So
to be honest, that kind of shows how big that factions project was, because you didn't see any of that type of content from the Last of Us Part 2, but they was so busy working on this faction, then they ended up getting canceled. I mean, I can see them, kind of like, all right, we got to pivot a little bit. But yeah, I do agree with you 100%, Kahlief, on that. Like, it would have been dope to see some type of story content, especially with the people within, the town in Jackson.
Yeah.
And see what they can do.
Dope stuff in there. Yeah, for real.
Yeah, like they could have told Tommy's story, like do like a perspective of Tommy as like a 10-hour journey or something. I don't know. It just seems strange that they would do that with two successful games like Uncharted 4 and Last of Us Part 1, and then kind of just move completely away from that and not continue that. So yeah, but go ahead.
But Last of Us Day, I do like the announcements. Well, mostly the merch stuff, because I always look forward to see like what merch they're gonna put out there. This year's merch is a little bit kind of weak in my opinion, though. But yeah, I wish there was a little bit more oomph to the Last of Us Day as far as the announcements. That's like these little light announcements, and as I enjoy keep it moving. But it is dope to see something like the remake being put in there for PlayStation Plus. That's a celebrated day. So hopefully people that didn't get to buy the remake, that was hell bent of, I ain't spending $50. I ain't spending $50 more. They don't need a remake. Now you can play it in Plus and enjoy out to your heart's content.
And then the other bit of news, just to round it out, is the show Last of Us Part 2, Last of Us Season 2. We did get an official trailer. I don't want to show the trailer because I don't know if we're gonna get copyright or something like that or whatever. So I'm not gonna, I'm sure everyone has seen the trailer though. But looking at the trailer, and Kahlief, we start with you. Are you one? Well, I have two questions. One, are you ready to see Joel die? That's the first question. The second question is the second question is because we know that Part 2. They already said that. Yeah. And then
spoilers.
The second question is, we know that this Part 2 of the game is going to span 2 seasons. So where do you think season 2 will end in the realm of the Part 2 story overall?
Ooh, I mean, I think the smart version is, because the hard thing about Joel's death is that it comes pretty early in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a lot of lead. Like if it was me, I would have drug out the the part and then cliffhanger on his death.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see the kind of reemergence of Ellie and her revenge story kind of go through the process of getting towards the end with Abby's stuff. But I think the way they'll probably do it is they'll probably do it in separate spaces, right? Where you'll get the first half of season 1 will be, you get to like, I don't know, I don't think it's gonna be like an 8-episode thing. It'd probably be like 8 episodes.
It's seven episodes.
It's 7 episodes. So you get to like episode 4, Joel dies. You get a little bit of revenge pieces that go into Abby stuff, or you kind of split it, right? You do the jumps between Ellie and Joel and their relationship, and then it ends on his death. And then you start to really go into the split in the second season of this, dual story of Abby and her relationship to her father and all those layers there, and then Ellie's revenge story, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it coincides towards the end. You have that last fight at the end of season 2. So I think they have a lot of space to be able to bounce between. But it's weird because I don't have because we've played that game so many times, and because there's been so much scuttlebutt around the death of Joel from so many avenues and so many angles, it won't have the same weight, I think, in that way. I love Pedro Pascal's portrayal of Joel. I think he's absolutely nailing who Joel is. It makes him empathetic, while also, because we haven't gotten to the point where we don't like Joel yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I love Joel. I'm a Joel stan. You
know what I mean? Like there was a part, if you really paid attention to the story, that you kind of didn't like Joel if you were really looking at it, right? Because the end of the first game, he's made a very selfish act. And depending upon where you landed, either you felt that was really selfish, or you felt that he was justified in what he did. And then you have the second season and the second game where you're like, oh, if you don't know about his death, you're like, oh my God, he's dead. What does this mean? But now that we all know, it's a harder thing to kind of feel as bought in for that stuff. And again, the thing that HBO has done really, really well, and I think the team has done really well, who produced that stuff with Neil Druckmann kind of helping with some of those pieces there, they have still, even though we have played that game multiple times on multiple systems for multiple years, they have still figured out a way to pull those narrative threads and pull those emotional threads through that you do care about when they do nail it, and it feels exactly like the game. If they can make that scene as visceral as it was in the game and make you feel that moment, they would have done their job extremely well. Because that's the part that I'm waiting for too. Like you're like, answer to the question, yes, I'm waiting for it and ready for it. But it's going to be hard to know if they nail it. And if they nail it, then they would have won.
I agree with you, where I don't think we'll ever see the outrage levels like we did in 2020. 2020 was like absolutely, I never seen people that angry before over a video game character ever in my life. That was a different level of like just crazy. But I think especially with Last of Us Part 2, the way the story is and how that game is still something that can spark conversations to this day.
Yeah.
Where like if you're in a room full of people that have played the game, you can have conversations for hours. Like, no, Ellie was right. No, Abby was right. No, Joel should have did that. No, Joel should have. It's that much. Is that volatile of a story? So I feel like I agree with you that I think the death itself might not necessarily be as hard hitting for a lot of us because we've already experienced it in the game.
Oh,
but well, I mean, you're a stan, so yes. But I do think that
I'm a cry, man.
I do think it still will be talked about, especially if HBO does it right. If they do it right, and like Shorty got the golf club and like listen, if they do it right, hey man, whew, it might reignite 2020. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
I think the thing that's really going to play into that too, because I think one of the bigger, this could be a whole show just about this thing, but like, and I'd be excited for it. If you ever do it, put me on.
Absolutely.
But I think the thing that I have been waiting for, and I think this will be the telltale for me, is we've already seen the casting for Abby, right? But in weird way, great casting for Abby and great casting for Dina too. Like Dina's casting.
Was a good cast. Yeah, that was a good cast.
the thing that will pull it together for me is the physicality of the actress who is Abby. If they give me an Abby who's a little bit brolic and a little bit mean, in the actual way, that will pull that together, because you can act that part out, right? Everyone who's in this piece is going to be a fantastic actor and actress. But like, if you can match that level of that, because that was the thing for me that pulled it in the game, because that scene is very, very specific, right? There is not a long section there. It is not a cut where you're seeing the full scene in those ways. It's a tight shot. You know what I mean? Like, it's a tight shot of Ellie's face, it's a tight shot of Joel's face, and it's a tight shot of Abby with that golf club in her hand. And if they can nail that with that physicality there, then they would have nailed that part. And I agree with you, Persona. I think that will be a thing that we will see reignite that conversation again in a much bigger way, because all the people who didn't play the game, who have just consumed the video piece,
that's loving them characters,
they don't know. And they don't understand the gravity of what that is gonna kind of propel. And like you said, Bari, like they all have also liked these characters now. They have also now become invested. So, man, listen, I hope two who didn't play don't spoil it for themselves, because it's hard not to. But I hope that they get. I want to be in the room with a person who was really invested and didn't play, sees that moment for the first time, and what their reaction. This is going to be for that.
This is going to be their red wedding.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Yo, I ain't even gonna hold y'all. Y'all looking like y'all bonding over this moment. I'm not ready. Yo. Neil. Listen to me, Neil. Thank you. I need you to pan fade to black when they do whack a Joe the guy. You know what I mean?
So bad.
Have that as the regular version, right? And then remaster season 2 with the director's uncut. When you have all the little visceral stuff going on. But I can't. Joel, that's my guy, man. Listen, I love Joel. You know what I mean?
Bari, wait. I'm gonna do this, and this is not gonna mess up the show. I'm gonna do this real quick. I'm gonna play it out for you real quick. Here you go. You ready, Bari? Watch this.
I'm ready.
Hey, yo.
What do you think now?
Nah, I hope they don't do that. That'd be crazy.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you, Neil. You saw what Kahlief did. Perfect. That's how I want to see that scene. Just that scene. Everything else.
Yo, that is crazy.
I'm not ready. I'm not ready, man. I ain't even gonna hold y'all with that. I know everybody trying to be cool, like, oh, Joe deserves. Listen, man, I love Joe, man. I played countless of hours in part 1. His journey. It definitely crushed me in part 2 when Abby did what she did. Yo, Act Persona, I hated Abby until I played.
I wasn't feeling her either.
But yo, I hated her with her passion.
But that's like some crazy storytelling though, because it's like, to play from that perspective, and then you see what happened with her and how it went down. I got it. I was like, all right, I get it. I understand, yo. And so like it's visceral. It's a thing that you just. And I like Joel as well, man. I'm with Joel. Joel is definitely, a great character that I love. But yo, man, listen, you killing my dad? You gotta go, my boy. Like, you gotta go. You gotta go, man. I'm with it.
Man.
And she got brolic for that joint.
Yo,
she like
that's the part.
She was dedicated.
But that's the thing that I want to see, because we see Abby in this trailer when she's a kid. She's young.
Right.
Like, I think that's when they marry, she finds out her dad is dead. That's a flashback. I want to see how she gonna look with the scene, because that's a muscle mommy right there. You know what I think? I need to see how they gonna do. If they gonna CGI
what's the Asian guy name again?
Jesse.
Jesse. Yeah, he's brolic.
Jesse.
He's up.
And then
Jesse looked like
the Seraphites look dope. They got the they had the markings on their face and everything. I was like, the show is looking. They did the train scene where Dina and Ellie had the. When I was like, oh, okay, y'all doing it right. Y'all doing it right. Y'all are doing it right, and I'm with it.
Great trailer.
Very good trailer. I loved it. I'm sorry, because really and truly, Kahlief is right. We could geek out over this all, like the whole show. We got other stuff to get through, but Yeah, the trailer is good. I think we all are excited. I think it's fair to say we're all excited for season 2. Season 2 does come out in 2025. And that was also what was also presented to us in honor of Last of Us Day as well, where they showed us the part season 2 trailer. So excited. Shout out to Naughty Dog. Shout out to HBO. Can't wait. But yo, let's get into some state of play news. Oh yeah, Bari, get ready. It's time. Get the frying pan ready. We having fried crow. We getting fried crow and okra. Fried crow and okra. You understand?
State of play. What's that?
State of play. We're gonna get into it, man. And I want to get into, it's a lot. A lot was shown at the state of play, but I'm gonna just get into some highlights. I'll run through the highlights and then just get you guys' thoughts on everything, and we could kind of break it down. So one of the highlights that I know this was like the worst kept secret, but Horizon Zero Dawn remaster got confirmed, right? Coming out October 31st, 2024. Honestly, this looks pretty crazy. We'll get into that. Another thing, Lego Horizon Adventures release date got confirmed November 14th, 2024. The digital deluxe version and all the other versions of the game will be available for pre-order October 3rd, which is Friday coming up. Another thing was the first look at the Chroma collection for PlayStation. So the Chroma plates and controllers got confirmed as well. We got a nice look at that, which was kind of
cool. Colors are cool.
It pissed me off when I seen it, but looking back at it, it does look cool. Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver, another worst kept secret, but we got confirmed on that, confirmation on that as well. The remaster, Soul Reaver 1 and 2 is coming to PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, December 10th. This looks really cool. Fantasian Neo Dimension. This is a mobile game that is now finally coming to PlayStation from Harunobu Sakaguchi, who is one of the fathers of Final Fantasy and was involved with the first 10 Final Fantasy games, if you don't know who he is. And this is coming to the PlayStation 5, December 5th. Astrobot, new levels, new speedrun levels. 2 new bots got confirmed. Eve, which finally, and then the Helldiver bots are in there. And then there's also 8 more that you'll have to find out when you rescue them. You have to rescue them to find out who the other 8 are. So that's going to be really exciting. And then Lunar Remaster Collection launching on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Spring 2025. I never played this, right? So I'm excited to jump into this and dive into this. But, JRPG fans, I know everybody's really excited for this. And then Ghost of Yotei, which we're going to talk about Ghost of Yotei separate because that was such a crazy moment. And I really want to hear what you guys say. But just looking at the state of play, starting with you, Kahlief.
Yep.
First question is, what score are you giving the state of play? Like, what's your score after watching it? And then the second question is, were you satisfied with what PlayStation showed from PlayStation? Was that enough to satisfy your gamer taste? Like, I need to see what PlayStation is doing. They showed, and this is enough. Let me know.
No. They did not. I gave it about a 7. I gave it the IGN 7.
IGN 7.
I give it an IGN 7. I think there were 2 games that stood out to me that were the kind of like things that made me care. I think that's my real score and my real gauge and meter is, does this make me care? And on my care level, it was probably like a 3 out of 5, right? Hell Is Us was the game of the show because I think
that little heat.
I think Yotei, which we'll talk about, was kind of a known quantity. And I think that automatically gives a little bit of a lower score for me because I'm like, I know it's coming. Like, just tell me what it is and let me see it. But Hell Is Us was the thing that got me excited because I was like, what is this? If you can give me that what is this moment, that's what actually will drive me. So I think, I think from a bigger perspective, I think they did a really good job of giving a little bit of everything for everyone, which I think is smart in terms of the larger conversation about like, how do you really nail a state of play and how do you make that feel good for people? But I think the offerings there, if you're not tapped in, are better. But if you are tapped into the space, you're like, all right, this is decent. So I wish there was a little bit more on the plate. But I was happy to see also that really quickly PlayStation VR 2 is getting more love. Like, I think that there was a game in there that I think did actually kind of spark my interest in there. But besides that, Hell Is Us and Yotei were the 2 big ones.
Okay. In terms of like PlayStation, I'm curious. because this is something me and Bari, we've been talking about this for like a long time. Like I want to say like 2+ years, especially on this show. Of like PlayStation, they kind of moved away from doing a traditional roadmap. If you remember, like the PS4 gen through the PS3 gen, they would give you a roadmap showing games that were maybe 2 or 3 years out. This generation, they have moved significantly away from that. For your perspective, do you think that PlayStation should get back into the habit of doing that, or are you kind of just like, I just want to see maybe like 1 or 2 more games coming out? Like, what do you think their strategy should be moving forward with how they announce their games?
It's interesting because having now worked on games, on the back end side, on the development side, I think what they're doing is smart only because of you always are trying to, and I'm going to put in my marketing hat. And the thing you're trying to always do is balance excitement and expectation, right? Mm-hmm. And the thing you always have to do is you can show me a game that's coming out 5 years from now, but the expectation then is totally different when you get closer to that thing, right? Because then you have the whole conversation, and this is a balance of like, this is where the community gets it right and gets it wrong a lot, where the balance of, oh, I saw that thing, I have my expectation is now to see exactly what you showed me, when it comes out, when that thing is definitely going to change, right? Things are different in the way the development works now. So you're always trying to figure out what's the good time frame between me showing you and announcing a thing and you actually getting a chance to see it. So like, I think they're doing a good job of balancing that out so that they don't have to deal with the other work that comes along with misconceptions and changes of technology. Like, again, like we're going to talk about the PlayStation 5 Pro and what does that mean for the larger layers of you as a PlayStation fan, and what does that mean for your fandom and your games that's going to happen. But like, you're always trying to figure out what the good balance is. So I think showing things now at the furthest out is maybe a year or 2 years out is where we're going to continue to see the industry move. Like, you're not going to see things that are like 3 or 4 years out. You may hear about it, but you won't see anything, right? Because the teams are still building it. It's all going to be in a state that is not going to be good for you. And we saw that with Wolverine, the stuff that got leaked, right?
Yeah.
The player base doesn't understand development.
No, they don't.
in a way that is tangible enough for them to not make bad decisions about the way they process it.
Yeah.
So marketing teams are trying to avoid that at all costs.
I get that. I'm someone, and I know Bari probably agrees here as well. I love to see the develop, and this might be the IT nerd in me. I love to see the process. I love process. Like, I want to see when it was just the polygons in this virtual space that then became a human looking face or alien face or whatever game it is, to becoming an entire world with trees and life. And I love seeing that process. And I it hurts that they've moved away from that, but it's a double-edged sword, because I want that to happen, but I understand why it doesn't, because first impressions are everything now, especially with social media, and it could be make or break with a game. I mean, I hate to do this, but Concord.
1,000%. I was just about to say that too. Yep.
Concord. Like, Concord is a great example. But Bari, you got the pan ready? I hope you over there. I hope the pan's heated up. You heat up the oil, because the chat trying to give you the crow to cook. You got some crow you need to eat. Yo, my ghost mask is still in my box in my closet. But yo, Bari, and we're gonna talk about Ghost of Yotei after. I just want to kind of stick on the state of play right now. The state of play, you changed your score. You gave it a 6. You originally gave it a 5 during our
5.5. Don't do me like that. 5.5, brother.
5.5, and then you upped it to a 6.5. Now you upped it to an 8. Hey, yo, listen, 8.5. Hey, yo, listen, you flip-flopping worse than Magic Carp. I need you to explain what's going on.
I was cooking that fish. But all right, so level of emotions here, right? Because at first the whole time of the theme of we reacting to the show, I was always saying the show it's a good show. I like the showing. I like the games that they're showing. I agree with you 100%, Kahlief. When it came to Hell Is Us, that was a great trailer because it got me engaged, where I was just like looking at the screen like, what is this? What is this? Like, and then you got to reveal, oh, hell is us. Okay, this looks pretty cool. You know what I mean? So I'm with that. And there was a few games like that in my personal opinion. And I like the updates that was happening with the Stellar Blade, the Astrobots, you know, things like that. The VR showing. I think every VR game looked great. Not everything I will play, but it looks good. You know what I mean? So yeah, overall, I always said the show, it was a good show, but how quiet PlayStation has been when it came to first party, I felt like they need to show out more. But the more I was thinking about it, and I'm just like, when it came to the first party studios and the upcoming games, one of the biggest studios that I love, my second favorite PlayStation studio, Sucker Punch, I was mostly anticipating what they was gonna do or what they was gonna announce, and they gave that to me. So I'm thinking when we did a WUPS show, and I'm thinking back, I'm like, yo, you got what you wanted, you know what I mean? Especially from one of the studios. Why are you so hell bent on, you know, everybody else, but the main studio you was looking for announced what they're working on, you know what I mean? So I kind of, that's why I was really upping the score for it. So yeah, at first I was a little bit upset where it's like, damn, PlayStation, man, you got to talk to the people, man. You know, yeah, I miss those days. I'm in the complete other side of the spectrum when it comes to the whole, you know, 6 months to a year announcing the game and talking about the game. I like the dev diaries. I like to sit back. I like to react to that stuff. One of the best games I felt like PlayStation did or made this generation when it came to like talking about the game and talking to the audience was Housemarque with Returnal. They had the dev diaries, episode 1 to 4, just talking to the people, letting people know what's the level of detail and, you know, the work that they put into that. I love the hell out of that crap. You know what I mean? I understand games like a God of War or Spider-Man. You don't really need to heavily, you know, do that stuff because those are highly anticipated stuff. But the games that are like newer IPs or that's new in general, like I feel like it definitely needs that time to let it simmer and let people get into the talks, let people, you know, the content creators share about what devs is talking about. That helps with the marketing of the game. So I love that aspect, but you know, we see the change that they're doing. But yeah, overall, I felt like the games that they showed here were pretty good. I enjoyed majority of the show, and coming from it, like how we normally would rate shows, we rated like, all right, what would we play after watching it? And a lot of the games that I'm seeing here, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll play this, I'll purchase this, I'll buy this, I'll support this. You know what I mean? But we were so hell bent on like, damn it, PlayStation, you ain't talked to us in over like a year as far as what first party is doing. And you had this great opportunity. You got TGS that you're doing something TGS, no announcement of that. Then when we saw hardware, we was just like, oh my God, here we go. You know what I mean? You know, I feel like when it comes to PlayStation, I just want a full consolidated show where you get the announcements and then later on you can get the little, you know, tidbits here and there, but you leave the show knowing a lot, not questioning a lot. And as good as I think the state of play was, it still was questioning a lot when it came to it. Even with the PS5 Pro showing, you know what I mean? You left questioning, oh, this game is doing it, what they're doing. You had to go to the blog and listen to it. But just like with Capcom, when they came and showed Monster Hunter Wilds, they set everybody up. Hey, we're doing TGS. Here's what we're going to be doing. You are in the 30th anniversary. You're not doing shows like that. You're going to be a part of TGS, and no talks of TGS, no talks about further celebrations with the 30th anniversary. Stuff like that, I felt like they dropped the ball when it came to this state of play, where you could announce that stuff. You ain't got to go to full detail, but you can get people, you know, get their appetites, you know, wet a little bit, or like, I'm getting ready for the later stuff that's coming to PlayStation. Because you had everybody there. The other developers did that stuff, or publishers did that, but you didn't do it, and it's your show. But other than that, the games that they showed, that's what we're here for. I felt like it was a strong showing. And yeah, I upped my score to an 8.5 because coming from it, rewatching it, I was like, yeah, this show was good. I like the flow. I like how everybody's announcing everything. It just flowed really well. The trailers were spot on. And yeah, I enjoyed the show. You know what I mean? So yeah, I definitely changed. I definitely ate some crow. You know what I mean? I put some barbecue sauce and jerk on there. It was good. And but it's all good. That's life, right? People change up. People change their opinions.
Nah, it's definitely life, man. Because even for me, I changed my score from a 5 to a 7 because I thought about if you watch the live reaction, I was like, yo, man, I just want more from PlayStation because you're so quiet. You're not doing showcases like that anymore. You're not going, you're doing these bite-sized state of plays, but then you're not. Because people will say, oh, well, it's a state of play. Yeah, but it's PlayStation's state of play. It's not, it's them. So I would expect them to also be there or show up in some way, especially when they're so few and far in between. And so looking at it, I was just, and I had crow as well, but I prefer my crow baked. So, I had some baked crow and season it up, marinate it overnight. And, so I changed my score to a 7. And like Bari said, a lot of stuff there I am buying, I am buying Luna Remastered Collection. I am buying Hell Is Us, Legacy of Kain, Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm going to do the upgrade path, Monster Hunter Wilds, Ghost of Yotei, all this stuff. I'm looking at it and I'm like, yo, there's like 10 games on this list I'm buying. 5 out of 10. I was like, all right, Persona, get out your feelings, man. Just
yo, you gotta watch the reaction. Yo, Persona was out here wild. He was the opposite today. You know how today he talking about the plus, man, I'm gonna be critical, B-. Yo, he was the opposite. He was the opposite.
But disappointed in you, Sony.
Yeah, man. I was disappointed, man.
How dare you? You gotta stay on brand. How dare you?
I mean,
you disappointed in PlayStation.
That's what the critics say. But so state of play, my score is a 7. Bari's is an 8.5. Kahlief, yours is a 9. What did you say?
No, I gave him a 7.
Oh, 7. Yeah, 7 as well. So it was a decent show.
We averaging around a 7.3.
Yeah, about a 7.5. Yeah, average. But just to touch on the PlayStation Pro news, because we're gonna talk about the pre-order stuff in our discussion. But just they did. So, and again, this is something Bari was just saying. They did an article, kind of just outlining where a ton of the developers kind of talked about what you can expect when it comes to the PlayStation 5 Pro.
Great article.
Enhancements. Great article. This was a very great article, and we also got a confirmation of other games that we can expect to be there. Some of the highlights are obviously Assassin's Creed Shadows. Snake Eater, Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater remake. That's gonna be PS5 Pro enhanced. Dragon Age Veilguard, right? Crew Motorfest. Hogwarts Legacy. Obviously, the PlayStation titles, and Insomniac confirmed that Wolverine was also gonna, which I think we all knew. But Marvel's Wolverine is gonna be also.
But the
PS5
fact
enhanced.
that you listed it is great. Like enough of the assumptions. Put it out there. Yeah. We know Wolverine's long off, but yeah, that's announced.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Yo, listen, I think Wolverine might be one of the other titles coming out in 2025. Because why mention it now?
Yeah.
It's a good point.
You mention it when it's
haven't talked about it at all.
And not,
but I'm saying like
2020 or 2021 or something like that.
With that one sentence right there, we're not left to assume if it's going to support the PlayStation 5 Pro. Obviously, yeah, it's safe to assume we could do that, but the fact that you're just confirming it's just better news in my personal opinion, rather than we already know that Wolverine is going to support the Pro, right? You know what I mean? Nah, you confirming it.
I get that. So Kahlief, seeing that article and kind of seeing the list of games and like what the devs are talking about with that, what's your thoughts? Like, does that excite you? Like, how are you feeling about that list and what the devs are saying?
Again, this is smart marketing, right? This is the thing that you have to do again to. I think the bigger conversation that has come out of the community and critics and the gaming press and all that stuff is the big elephant in the room is it worth it? Is it worth $700? Right? And I think I had a friend of mine hit me up and we had a conversation yesterday and he was like, y'all PlayStation cats are getting duped, man. I don't know how y'all gonna spend this money on this thing. And I was like, look. Every version of hardware is a bet and a promise. It's always that. You're paying for, if you're a first adopter, you're betting on hope. It's the Obama administration. There's a lot of hope and change that you are waiting for to see if it comes to fruition. And when you put out an article like this is to help those people who are on the fence, those undecided voters, to figure out if they're going to jump on board or not. Super smart for Insomniac to include conversations around Wolverine, because I think the piece that we're all talking about, and I talked about this on the podcast that's going up on Monday, is what we're trying to fix here is the promise of quality mode, right? Quality mode is the thing that this is fixing for everyone, so that you don't have to need a performance mode anymore. You can just have quality mode. But moving forward, the spec changes for every developer that's making stuff moving forward, because now you have more horsepower to play with. You have more things that you can do on the hardware. Will those developers use all of that? That's where it gets to the where the rubber meets the road. It's like, will we see, what does that mean for better graphics, better textures, better load times, all that kind of stuff. So I'm excited to see folks like Naughty Dog talk about what this is, because if they were getting the juice out of the old machine and out of the old dev kits, I don't even want to know what they're able to do with the new stuff, right? Like, it's going to just be really, really dope to be able to see. And I think, having Polyphony on here with Gran Turismo stuff in that mix, Capcom is going to make really fun stuff in that space. But it's also nice to be able to see folks like Koei Temco also talk about games that they're putting on there, because that stuff is not necessarily fully always about visual graphics. It's about frame rate, right? It's about how fast do we make things, and how smooth does that stuff feel.
Stabilizing it too, because that's one of the biggest issues. Like, you can have the target for 60, but is it a stable, it's not a juddery mess. Like, I feel like the Pro is definitely going to help out with a lot of the stabilization of a lot of, like, that's fidelity and performance.
And they're doing something really smart, which they should have done for PlayStation VR. They should have had an article like this for PlayStation VR. Because then again, it goes to that conversation of being like, yo, these are all the developers, these are the big heavy hitters who are going to support this hardware moving forward. So your games are going to look dope and play well and have, smooth frame rates and all that kind of stuff. We'll see when those games come out. Because then the conversation changes a lot about, like, all right, so we knew with the current hardware that you have an expectation to have those two modes. Most people are playing in performance mode if they don't really care about 30 being a thing. Some games really it matters and some don't. But, like, what does this mean moving forward for the games that we have an expectation for, to be like, oh, that game is going to play like this? When Call of Duty comes out on a PlayStation 5 Pro, I shouldn't have to worry about certain things when it comes to latency, when it comes to performance, when it comes to, that as a person who loves competitive games, does that raise the bar for me and give me a competitive edge compared to the person who's playing on a normal PS5? Those are conversations too that we're going to have to figure out and dig into. We won't know until, all of us get our hardware and see it. I would love to be able to see that comparison between those folks. If you're playing on a 5 and you're not playing on a Pro, do I have a competitive advantage now just because of frames? That'll be a real dope conversation to see how that plays out. But I'm happy they did this. It was really smart marketing, and it makes sense to be able to do it right now.
Or even
have, like, 3 or 4 months.
Even like visuals, because, like, now with a better hardware, you can have sharper textures and better shadows to see, give it a competitive edge in that way as well. But one thing I am liking is that there's more games being listed now outside of the games that PlayStation is. So if you go in the PlayStation store, there's those games that has the little icon or the little tag PlayStation Enhanced that you can just search. So there's a list that's coming out. Persona got it up right now.
That's fantastic. And last quick point about that stuff too, from a hardware perspective. This also, because they're using Wi-Fi 7 in here, I wonder because you talked about this, Bari, when you talked about you loving MVC and MVC2. I wonder if this also helps those folks as well, right? Because the bane of my existence is playing Mortal Kombat 1 with people on Wi-Fi. Because I'd be like, yo, I don't know what kind of duct tape you got on your Ethernet cords.
The Wi-Fi warriors. Oh my god.
The
man.
Wi-Fi warriors, or they kill me, man. I'd be like, yo, you got like 7,000 ping, fam. Where you hitting me from, Singapore? Like, I'm
Yeah, it will be smooth one time, then boop, dip.
Yeah, so I wonder if that also, again, from that part of the conversation, I saw Capcom was on here, but they didn't necessarily talk about fighting game layers here. They talked about the super resolution stuff for Dragon's Dogma, which it needs. That game chugs. But like, I want to hear from Capcom about the other layers of the hardware that's going to benefit players on that respect, because my PlayStation is my fighting game box. I don't play fighting games on the other console, right? So that'd be a good thing to hear from them as well.
Yeah, I would also, because just to stay on the whole PS5 Pro thing, I agree. Like, I definitely think this is a pretty decent start of a list, but I also would want to see like what that commitment looks like going into 2025 and beyond from a third party perspective. Because the thing that worries me, and I think this list will kind of be like a test to kind of see what third party really is capable of when you kind of up the power a little bit more. Because obviously, third party developers have more of a strain because they have multiple SKUs that they need to develop for. So, taking advantage of the PS5 Pro, and this was a worry with PS4 Pro. Even though it's not that big that wasn't as big as a leap as what we're seeing here. Checkerboard rendering and doing all these other different things. How is third party going to take advantage of that? That's really, I'm hoping that
the PISA.
Yeah, the PSSR. I just hope that they really utilize this console like to its fullest potential, which I think for PlayStation they're going to try their hardest to make sure that they do, because this is a big investment. $700, that's a big investment just for a third party not to take advantage.
No disk drive.
No disk drive, man. You feel me? So I would hope, and I think it's true that PlayStation is definitely trying to make sure that their third party does, and even like probably giving them some support on like, look, this is how you do it. This is how you should develop here or whatever. I don't know, but it's an exciting time, man. I'm excited for it. So
all they gotta do with a Pro is be more transparent, just like how they did that dev article with other developers, or have that list ready to go. Even with the PS4 stuff, you know what I mean? You can cycle through some of those games or tag some of those games. Like I hear some, they said that 8500 will get this boost capabilities, which is a great announcement. But sometimes people want to see that visual flair. Like they want to see that. All right, we got the text, but we want to see that, in practice.
Want to see it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with gamers today, man.
When they
want
to
see the
when
pictures.
they do like their teardown video, because I'm pretty sure they probably would do it like they did every other big hardware console. Stuff like that will be coming out. You know what I mean? Sure. But we'll see.
And then the last, just to move away from the state of play stuff, I do just want to touch on Ghost of Yotei real quick. Two questions.
You want to touch Ghost of Yotei, brother? I want to put my hands all on there. I want to smother that thing. I want to be all in there like swimwear. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not going a little touch, like little pat. Persona, I'm trying to grab it. You understand what I'm saying?
Hey, listen, Ghost of Yotei. PlayStation opened the bag a little bit, just a little bit, and they gave us a glimpse at what 2025 is going to look like for PlayStation. And they, Sucker Punch did announce Ghost of Yotei, which is a story about a character named Atsu taking place in 1603, which is 300 years after the events of Ghost of Tsushima. And it's Mount Yotei is the environment that this will be taking place in, which is, I believe, the northern area of Japan during those times. So Kahlief, I guess the question, I know you're excited for this. I think it's safe to say that, it is exciting. But we saw a lot of controversy. Right, I want to get into the. I want to get into the controversy. Oh yeah, I want to get into the controversial. Like listen, we're gonna make it spicy. You understand?
Before we get into the controversy, Persona, we gotta pay some respect to the Yotei. Okay, we got to talk about our feelings, our thoughts on the initial trailer. Set it up, and then we get into the controversy.
You're right.
We'll get a little drama in there. We got to speak from the heart a little bit.
You're right. Let's talk about the trailer. You're right. Let's stick to the gaming side first.
True.
In terms of the trailer, first of all, I love the trailer. But Kahlief, what was your thoughts on the trailer? Did you like it? Do you think it was a good showing? Just talk to me. Let us know what's up.
Yo, there was too many horses in that trailer, fam. Yeah, mad horses, B. That's too much. That's nah. I mean, Sucker Punch knows how to make a trailer.
Yeah, they do.
Like Sucker Punch and that team are some of the best and smartest folks on the planet. They know exactly what the audience is trying to go for. They know exactly how to get the vibes together. And I came out of that joint like, man, this is why I love video games. Like, this is why I love seeing dope people who are talented be able to do the best work on the planet. So I came away just very, very excited and hyped for it. So they did a great job.
Bari?
Oh yeah, listen, man. I'm very, very hyped for this game. Ghost of Tsushima is my favorite PlayStation game in the last decade that they created. You know, when we had that March Madness battle going on, Ghost was number one for me. So yeah, like seeing this at first, I was like, who the hell is this? Who is this character? Where's Jin? You know what I mean? But then I'm just like, oh, I see what they doing. They probably doing like a Lost Legacy type thing. But no, this look like a full.
Nah, that's a full game, man. That's a full
type game. You know what I mean? But yo, I'm loving what I'm seeing because now when I'm seeing the tweets that Sucker Punch is doing, they're talking about the legacy of the Ghost, and I'm, making my assumptions here and there, like what they're gonna be doing with the story, and that got me excited. But yo, after this trailer, I called it the Dude Ranch. I was like, listen, I'm trying to get me a horse. I was up on Amazon trying to get me some replica katanas. You know what I mean? Because listen, I'm all in. Sucker Punch, I'm all in. I will be in Yotei. Okay, I'll be on Mount Yotei. Listen, I went into my freezer and I was like, then you know what I mean? I was trying to get cold. I'm with this game all 100%. I'm about to get me a wolf. I need to get me a wolf somehow. Maybe I gotta go to Alaska. I gotta go to Cat. I don't know where I gotta go, but I'm getting me a wolf.
Fordham Road and go get a wolf.
Fordham Road. Listen, I'll be there because I need this game in my life.
I don't know, man. A wolf could get big as hell. I don't know if you want that wolf in your crib.
Listen,
man.
I had a Siberian Husky.
A wolf bigger than that.
You had a wolf then. You already had a wolf.
A wolf,
people scared of that dog too.
Full-fledged wolf.
That dog.
A full-fledged wolf get bigger than that.
Oh yeah, they get tall. They get tall.
They
Yeah,
get big as hell.
like my Siberian Husky, she was definitely, she had some wolf in her because she was tall. She's definitely tall. But
I think the trailer for Ghost of Yotei was absolutely brilliant. That's how you do a trailer. A good mixture of gameplay and cinematic, and just I love how they were doing great storytelling through environment. And that was something with the first Ghost of Tsushima where, the winds kind of take you to where you follow the wind type of thing. And obviously that mechanic is back here. But a lot of it wasn't talking. There wasn't a lot of talking. It was just scenery. Everything was through visual, which I just loved. And that just lets me know that, like, yo, Ghost of Yotei, it's going to hit hard, man. It's going to hit hard.
If y'all haven't watched Blue Eye Samurai, go and watch that because that's the vibe I was getting with this joint. She's like, I'm assuming she's on a revenge path and she's about to just decimate people out here, man. So that's the vibe I'm getting, man. But very, very enjoyable trailer. As you can see, it's like at 4.7 million views. So people is definitely interested in this game. So,
So, obviously, let's talk about the elephant in the room. What's the elephant in the room? Anybody want to guess what the elephant in the room is? I'll give you a hint. It has to do with the gender. Yeah, Ghost of Yotei is the girl.
What?
It's a female character.
How does that work?
So, obviously, like with everything, it just sparked this huge outrage of, I don't want to play as a girl, and what happened to Jin, and DEI, woke, all that bullshit that people like to say. I'm gonna ask an obvious question that I know this is an obvious answer for both of you, but just to ask it. Do you have an issue with the fact that the second game in the Ghost of Tsushima universe, you are playing as a female Ronin? Is that an issue for you?
No.
Thank you.
No.
Obviously, it was an issue for people on the. Okay.
Erica. Is it Erica Ishii?
Erica Ishii.
Erica Ishii.
Ishii. Yeah.
Listen, block them all.
She is the. She been on a block and war path.
I'm following right after you. Block them all.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. I definitely blocked like 2 or 3 people when I see it. I was like, all right, yeah, I see their content. This shit kind of crazy. Get this out of here.
Yeah, people are wallet out. They wallet.
But I don't see an issue.
I just don't understand the hate now, like in this day and age of gaming, that we're hating to see female leads or protagonists in video games. That is a very common thing, even back in the 90s or whatever we started to have these things. Especially, you remember when Metroid, right? Metroid, when Samus was revealed that Samus is a woman, is a female. Nobody was like, oh my. Everybody's like, oh, I didn't know, that was shocking. And nobody was like, oh, I hate this character now. No, everybody rock with Samus.
Listen, I said it on Twitter. If Miss Pac-Man released back 1982, if Miss Pac-Man released today, they would be calling it DEI woke trash.
It's woke.
Which is crazy. You understand? I don't get it. But the other side of it,
the problem is too, is people that didn't play the first game as well, because there were strong female characters in the first game. You know what I mean? So it's nothing like, this is not outside of the norm that you see another strong female lead or character that's using samurai swords or katanas or whatnot. It's not. I'm saying it's pretty normal as far as not just the game world, but it's in reality too. Like doing research and samurais back then, I just don't get it, man. Like I feel like people, when they see something that they're not used to, they're quick to use words like DEI or woke. When just because you're not used to it, that doesn't mean that it's abnormal for in gaming to have these things here. We're seeing black characters in gaming. We're seeing women in gaming. That is not, it's not rare. Not anymore. You know what I mean? So I don't know what's going on, man. It's crazy.
It's an interesting space because I've never seen so many people out themselves as being people who don't understand the world around them. Right? Like I think the thing that I always come away from these larger conversations around wokeness and diversity and inclusion and all these things is like the thing that we as a fandom have been trying to do for a very long time, and I think we succeeded in a lot of different ways, is you're the dude who's in your mom's basement. We've gotten out of that idea, right? And these cats are trying to pull us back into that part. Yeah. But it's worse because it tells me that 1, you got no game. 2, you don't know any women, you don't know any black people, or you don't know any brown people, you don't know any folks who are outside of your circle. And there are people who look like us who are also some of the biggest grifters in the planet. Who are also doing this work.
The scary thing about that though is, some of the people that's talking like this are married with children.
Yo,
it's not even just the basement. Yeah, it's not even just basement dwellers, so to speak.
But that's the thing, marriage. Right? Yo, but that's the part, right? Is like we share space all the time with some of the dumbest motherfuckers on the planet. Like on a consistent basis. Like I look at those people and I'm like, yo, I don't know how you function. Like you have a job? Who pays you? How do you like who are the people who are employing you to be that stupid in your mind frame? Because that stuff doesn't just like funnel itself into the way you interact with people, right? Like it's a part of it, but like your mind view, your world view is supporting this thing, or you are the fakest cat on the planet who puts all that stuff in a box and doesn't bring it out until you with your homies or you get online. Right?
You can tell they don't interact with people at all.
But it's not even the fact of like that's one layer of it. But I think the thing that is the most scary about it is the fact that people the idea that those folks, because they spend money in a hobby, are important is not real. Right? Like, yes, I think the beauty of it, and I've been saying this, and this is the thing that I hope, and I fly this flag often, I get in trouble for saying it out loud, is this is the best thing that the gaming industry could have right now. And people are like, what do you mean? Like all these grifters and all these people saying all this stuff and people losing their jobs and all this kind of stuff. I was like, first of all, there's no correlation between people losing their jobs and studios closing and these anti-woke conversations. Like there's a layer of it. because we saw a discussion that happened, and shout out to Stephen Totillo who brought this up in a piece he talked about with Ubisoft, and they had their discussion with Yves Guillemot, the head of that company, talking about, they had spoken about the backlash against Assassin's Creed and how some of the bad actors, Elon Musk and all those other people, had kind of contributed to that stuff, and then they kind of walked it back a little bit, right? I've been telling people, I was like, look, the beauty of what we see right now, if you're a person who makes games and who is a marketer of games, is you have a whole bunch of people who are raising their hands being like, I don't want your product. Right? For whatever reasons it may be, stupid or reasonable, and most of it is stupid. You don't have to spend money towards those people anymore. The industry has moved. The conversation as a society has moved. No matter where you land on conversations around sexual identity and personhood and all of that stuff, those people exist. Those people spend just as much money as you do, and those people still have as much say in the product advancement as you do. There's an equal playing field. There may not be as many people because there's just not as many those people who self-identify in those spaces, but those people are there. Even if you want to take away the conversations around transness and sexual identity, if you just want to talk about the conversation around Black and brown people, I helped put out a study when I was at Intel that talked about the amount of Black and brown players on PC. I worked together with the folks from Newzoo because it was a thing that I wanted to know. I was like, if you took the black dollar out of gaming for a year, how much would that be? And even in the smallest amounts, it was like, $10 to $15 million. And I know that number is probably 4 to 5 times that big, right? We don't self-report. We don't take surveys. That's because we're afraid of people being like, why you want my information? That's right? That's a very Black thing, right? Yes. Like, yo, what you need that for? I don't need you. What you need? What?
You don't need that.
Even
you don't need that.
Even when you call your phone company, what's your name?
Yeah,
why do you need that?
What you mean? What you need that for? What are you knocking on my... Anyway, so I know that those numbers are much bigger than that. And then you compound that with every other minority, and you're like, oh, that's a lot of money, right? And then you pull in folks from those other underrepresented groups around sexuality and around personhood. That's another layer of people that you're thinking about that is, again, spend money. Because the conversation you have all the time is like, yo, all y'all are tourists. Y'all ain't supposed to be here. We are the gamers. We are the people who have been here forever. And I'm like, you don't understand that all of those folks have been right next to you all this time. They have been buying games and spending money and playing games and having experiences. And you think it's all about you when it's not. So those folks self-reporting, that's fantastic. Let them say, we don't like this. It's woke. That woman is in that space. Blah, blah, blah. We don't have to make stuff for you because it's already being made. The conversation around wokeness and DEI in the video game industry has already been won. All those people who are already the people who believe around a lot of these conversations about like, what does it mean to share your full self? They are already making the games that you've been playing. So it's not like you're dragging those folks out. They're already there.
That's my thing. But and this is kind of like my viewpoint from playing the games since I was like 4 years old, right? When gaming was not as mainstream, and when I say mainstream, I think social media, internet, like chat rooms and all these other different things. Because gaming has always been something that I think everybody or a lot of people enjoyed. It just wasn't as outwardly spoken about, right? Like it is now. And obviously other avenues with like movies and all these other different things. I have never been around anybody until social media where things that don't matter this much. Like every time I look at video games, I'm looking at, is the game fun? Can I see myself playing that? Is it enjoyable? Is that an interesting story? Does it look, is it technically sound? I'm not looking at, oh, it's a female lead, I can't play it. I just don't, I've never understood that, man. And I probably never will. Like, I don't, that stuff doesn't bother me where I'm sitting here like, I can't support this because there's a woman as the lead character. I just don't. And again, social media is what's really kind of propelled this to where I'm just like, damn, are people really this petty?
Yes.
Like, is it like this shit comes off so petty to me?
Persona is not even petty though. It's stupidity.
Stupid and petty. Because it's like, this is such. it's dumb shit. Like shit that just don't matter. Because if it's a male character and the game is ass, the game is still ass.
Listen, man, I remember the days when we were very vocal and fighting for, to be represented.
Right.
And now that we are at that point where we're seeing more, minorities, we're seeing more women, trans or, gays. Now people's having so much issues like, no, stop it, pull back. Like, no, we fought for this stuff.
Right.
And rightfully so, it's a great feeling to be represented, and especially into a hobby that you love, like video games. So I just find it weird that, especially when it comes to female leads or female characters, that there's a big hoopla about that. It's just weird to me, especially like some of the greatest video game characters are women. You know what I mean? So I just don't get it. I don't know, but
yeah. I'll add this last piece because I saw something in the chat that made me want to poke at it. So there's a conversation about forced diversity, right? Which is not real. I want you to understand that that's not a thing.
I see it pop up. I see it definitely.
What is forced diversity though? That doesn't make sense to me either.
That's my point. Is like diversity is there or it's not. And diversity is there if you have people who like forced. Here's the difference. Here's the actual version of forced diversity. Gentrification is forced diversity. Like that's forced diversity, right?
Brooklyn.
I mean, Fort Greene, Bed-Stuy. Like what happened there before when I was in forced diversity, right? The conversations around what does that mean is, do you have people who are of those spaces who actually have those lived experiences helping to tell those stories, or do you not? And if you have those folks in those spaces who are helping to bridge that gap, that's diversity in and of itself, right? That's what you are hoping for. The conversation that I've seen a lot is like, well, this doesn't represent me. And the problem is that it has always represented most people who are saying that. It's never not represented you in those spaces. And now that you're seeing a shift in a way that where that lens is being put on someone else for a small moment in one product or multiple products over the lifespan of products, people have lost their shit.
But the thing, but you know why this for me, the reason why this argument that I tend to see on social media, it loses steam, and for me it all just comes off as bullshit. It's like, okay, you got somebody making a brand new IP, like Tales of Kenzera, with a black developer that is telling a story from his native land, that's black people and everything, and they're still calling that woke trash. Or South of Midnight, which is a brand new game, a brand new IP with a black female lead, and people are taking issue with that. Pretty unique style, really cool, and people have issue with that. And I'm like, but it's not like it's brand new. It's outside of what you're accustomed to when it comes to what you might like, but it's still a video game, and you still take issue with it. So it's like, okay, you don't want your character this or whatever, fine. But here's these brand new IPs that are they're telling their stories, and you're still taking an issue. I don't get it. It would be different if Ghost of Yotei is Jin Sakai race gender swap. But that's not. This is a different story in a different time frame, a different era, and they still have an issue. It's like, it's not Jin. Jin's story is told, and now they're telling an entirely different story 300 years later. And you still have an issue. I don't get it.
Because
this is why I said that these are people that didn't play the game, because at the end of the day, even though Jin is not in it, his impact is still felt, because she has a ghost mask. It might not be the same ghost mask, but she has a ghost mask. So there's definitely.
Where did Jin say girls can't wear the mask? Where did Jessica say that in the story that girls can't wear? When I die, I don't want no girl taking up the ghost mantle. What kind of stupid shit is that, bro?
There was one of the coolest women in the first game.
Yuna.
I mean, one of the coolest characters. She was dope.
She saved him from dying when he got
saved him from dying. Right?
Listen,
like the thing that we have to continue to push back against, and again, it depends on how loud you want your own voice to be. I think there's a layer of this conversation that winds up happening where people give, and not in this one that we're having now, but like in general, people give credence to the idea of what the grievance is when the grievance is stupid from jump. Like the grievance has no foundation in reality anyway. Like most of the stuff you see in video game spaces that people are barking about and people are complaining about doesn't have a foundation in reality anyway. So it's all manufactured, and it's all like, again, facts versus feelings, right? Your feelings are your feelings. They don't mean that they're facts.
Yep.
I feel a lot of ways about a lot of stuff. It doesn't mean that it is the way to both maneuver and to both kind of have a mind frame for. But like the idea that the video game industry is now uber woke in this way that is unattainable and is ruining games isn't real. There are bad games that are just bad games.
Yep.
Right? And that's okay.
It's not bad because of female yeah. Listen, this is another conversation we can spend all day talking about.
There's not enough stories in video games that are supposedly woke to bring down the industry in the way that people are talking about it.
Yep.
There just aren't. There aren't enough characters. There aren't enough stories. There aren't any of that stuff. I have still not seen a really good story about black kids in the hood in a game perspective. Whenever someone makes Juice the game, I will be there day one.
Yo.
But that story hasn't even been told yet in the video game. There are so many stories to tell in the experiences of all the people that we know who have had experiences, that when people talk about these things and be like, oh, well, you did this thing, we don't have enough of us in the game. I was like, you didn't even try yet.
Yo, you know who you made smile? Guapzilla. I remember hearing Guapzilla was like, he want a game like that in the hood.
Yeah,
from that perspective,
you know what I mean, from a black perspective,
it would be dope as hell to be able to have a story like I want to know what it was like when you and I had to cross the bridge going into Truman High School. I want that
playthrough.
Oh man,
and having a fight,
Bully and Juice, but black.
That's super representation. Listen, I'm gonna tell you, if somebody make that game, they're gonna have to cut you a percentage because you said it here first. You said it here on what?
I'm saying, right? Like there's experiences that people are pushing away against without even understanding the value that they potentially can have.
Yeah.
And that's why it's sad and stupid, because those folks literally don't have an understanding of it. And I love the fact you talked about it, Bari. Most of the people who are talking the most shit don't play games. And you can tell that they don't play games.
Oh yeah.
You can tell that they don't have grand experiences in life. They are very sheltered people who also want you to be very sheltered in the way that you do it. And you don't have to.
Yep.
You don't. You can rock what you rock and play what you play and rock with people that you rock with. And those folks are, I feel bad for them because they're raising their hands and be like, I'm missing out. I want to miss out on cool shit.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. They're like, yo, I don't want to do cool shit. That's what they're saying.
Something I've always said, and I stand by this, and then we'll move on because I do want to get to super chats and I want to be respectful of your time as well, Kahlief.
Okay.
When it comes to like developers and developing, you know, I love all types of games, man. Like, you know, like my palette is very vast, but something I've been saying for a long time, way back even during the council podcast days, because one of the conversation is, you know, people often say, well, we need to, you know, have more people in development that look like us to kind of make these games. And I'm like, yeah, more people that look like us in the seats making the games, you get more of that just naturally. And not no woke shit or it's just naturally more people, but you also have to go into that and want to do that as well. You know, IT or you know, STEM, you know, accounting, whatever it is, something else that's outside of the norm of what a stereotype might say a person that looks like me is supposed to do. Just because I'm a big dude doesn't mean I should be a football player. You look at me, you might think I'm a football player. I play football in school, but I'm an IT
guy. Linebacker.
I'm a nerd. I'm a nerdy guy that likes anime and likes playing video games and likes working within the cloud.
Yep.
That's what I do.
You like to buy pop cracks and throw it at people so you can scare them.
Yo, you stupid, man. But yo, let me get these super chats real quick. Yo, KP, appreciate you for the super
chat. I was projecting.
Appreciate you for the super chat. It says, yo, what's up, Persona, Bari, and Kahlief? PS5 Pro secure. Let the haters hate, and we going to enjoy PlayStation fragrance. Yes, sir. And then shout out to Cobb Sandy. Appreciate you. He says, I am meat. Ayo, pause. And then shout out to Ulan T Gamer. Appreciate you for the super chat. He says, I play Predecessor. I've been looking for a team as well, so I'm down. So you got somebody to run with. Jenna Hayes, appreciate you for the super chat. What are your thoughts of Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond playing PlayStation 5 Pro? You think they taking notes? I mean, they're a business, so I'm sure when these consoles come out, they're gonna those companies reverse engineer all that stuff to see what the competition is doing. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I'm sure PlayStation has probably done it as well.
Microsoft, one of the biggest publishers in the world, they definitely been taking notes. They knew that before the Pro, before they even played it. So
yep. Guapzilla in the house. Guap, appreciate you.
Guapzilla in the house.
He says Joel dies. Episode 1, season 2 ends with baby daddy getting his knot rocked by Abby. And season 3 picks up with Abby flashback Zebra C.
Yo, Guap, I take my Guapzilla in the house back.
Yo, that's crazy. Yo, then shout out to No Cap Podcast. Appreciate you for the super chat. He says, "Sup, fellas? Yo, No Cap, what's good, bro? Appreciate you always, man." And then
by the way, No Cap, he does our intro song.
Yes, he does.
You can check out all his songs on iTunes. We definitely have the link in the description, and it's popping up somewhere. Dope artist.
Yep. And then last but not least, Pink Princess in the city, another fellow New Yorker in the building. Appreciate you, Princess, always rocking out with us. She says, "Preach, 100%. A new day in gaming and acknowledging and representing the entire community is here, and it is here to stay. It is for everyone." Hey, man, I love it. I love it. And gaming is for everybody, man. Listen, gaming, if gaming kept me out the streets, you feel me? Like growing up.
This is real for real. Let me tell you something about life, Pink Princess, okay? Okay, Pink Princess, look at me. I'm looking at you, okay? I love gaming on PlayStation.
Facts. Yo, facts. All right, so I just want to just quick discussion because, like I said, I want to be respectful of everybody's time. So our discussion is really surrounding this week was the PlayStation 5 Pro pre-orders. And if you follow me on Twitter, if you follow Bari on Twitter, I was a little animated. All right, I was pissed off, man, because the pre-order experience on the PlayStation Direct was complete ass. Okay, it was absolutely terrible. I did not get my 30th anniversary PlayStation 5 Pro bundle. I am pissed off, but I still got most of the accessories, so I'm still kind of happy. And I got the Pro. But Kahlief, did you pre-order the Pro? How was your experience? What did you end up getting? If you got anything,
I probably had the best experience of getting into the queue and all that stuff. I was
Please do tell.
I pre-ordered mine on a plane.
You're serious?
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Yo, what?
I had my phone in my hand. I was heading down to Capcom to go check out Monster Hunter. And I was like, yo, am I going to be able to do this? Because I'm going to be on the plane. And the pre-orders are going to go up right at that time. I bought the little Wi-Fi package on the plane. And I had that joint in my hand like this. Like, yo, we going.
Wow.
When this button go, it need to go. And I was praying. I was like, I was looking at everybody else's laptops. I was like, yo, stop eating up my bandwidth. Calm down. I need you watching that Netflix right now.
Let me ask you this question, Kahlief.
Yeah.
When did you initiate going into the direct PlayStation Direct website? Like, when did you start? Like, what time?
5:30 in the morning.
Okay.
But I was already up, so I was like, well, let me just try to do it and see what's up. And I got kicked out of the queue. Out of queue because they refreshed it, and then I got back on around like 6:30 just to see what was good. And then luckily I got in and got a pre. So nobody got in on the freaking 30th anniversary joint that I know. Like a couple people in the community that they got it, but like for the most part, most people didn't, and I was sad I didn't either. But I was lucky at least to get at least one pre-order in on the Pro just to be able to say I got one. Now we'll see what happens with my credit card statement. You still got money to pay for this? That'll be the whole other conversation. But
credit card
Sunday.
call you up and be like, sir, you know you're paying $700 for a PlayStation.
Basically, right? Yeah, right. I'll get the call from my wife first. She'll be like, "Yo, fan."
Oh yeah,
November 3rd. A lot of calls from the banks is going to be coming. Like, yo, what's this $1,300?
Man, listen,
I
I
definitely
was like,
splurged.
yeah.
I
But it was,
splurged, man.
the experience wasn't that bad. I was able to get in twice actually into
What?
queue. And see what the deal was. I wasn't able to get any of the accessories though, because I was like dead set on trying to get at least one of the consoles. So yeah, so we'll see. But I also want Sony to send me one. Sony, just send me one.
Hey, send me listen, send the 30th anniversary. You gotta send that bundle.
Yeah,
you gonna send that bundle.
Me one on PP, you know what I'm saying? I
get that spawn on me review.
I mean, look, we got one for the first one. So like why not the second?
PlayStation, just send me the box. Send me the box, man.
Yo, why is it nothing but iron meat in this box?
Yo, the box and iron meat code. That's all I need, bro.
Bari, I know because me and Bari, funny enough, me and Bari was on the phone like most of that morning trying to like, maneuver and plan this shit out just for it to fail at the end. But Bari, talk about your experience, man.
My experience was terrible, and I wore Persona 2, man. I knew something was going to happen because even with the Astrobot controller, was able to add it to my cart, but something was up with the putting in the security code for your card. So it's always something that's happening with the direct store. Even when it came to Spider-Man 2, plates and controller, I couldn't get the plates. I got the controller. So here with this Pro, obviously we was on the queue. It refreshed everyone out. It bounced everybody out.
Mm-hmm.
My progress bar went from like almost halfway to all the way down to the back. I was like, wait, what the hell happened? And it paused me. So I'm over here taking screenshots of my phone, like, yo, look what they got me, bro. They got me all the way back here. I'm watching people do live streams of pre-ordering, and I see their progress bar higher than mine. Pissed. Finally got in. What places you slick too, man. You slick because when you put everybody in the queue, you queued everybody up to the goddamn 30th anniversary edition, and it was gone. You know what I mean? So I'm over here panicking. I'm like, no, where's the Pro? Where's the Pro? Got to the Pro, I can't add nothing to cart. I'm just over here clicking. I'm calling Persona. I can't add nothing. I'm sending videos to Kendra, TZ, Persona. I can't add nothing. I posted it to Twitter. Look what's happening now. Always something going on with this direct store. But shout out to my bro Persona. He definitely held it down. He was able to log in for me and purchase it for me. And then but I had a backup where the backup was on my cell phone. And once the queue was up, I was able to go in and get like some of the 30th anniversary stuff for the cell phone. So overall, everything worked out, but I didn't get what I wanted to. The 30th anniversary, that's due to dumb trolls that's trying to log on or clog up the servers to take a screenshot. Look, it's available. You know what I mean, on Twitter, or just the scammers or the scalpers that's just clogging up everything. So yeah, I was pissed off, but eventually I calmed down and I ended up getting some 30th anniversary stuff. But the ultimate goal I didn't get to get. But I got a Pro. The Pro is widely available still here in the US direct store. So getting the Pro, it wasn't like the big deal, but the 30th anniversary thing, that was like the go-to get. And yeah, it was a struggle. It was a struggle.
Hey, yo, listen. Y'all follow me on Twitter. Y'all saw the tweets.
Man,
you stupid lying bastard. Listen. I was like, listen. As soon as I seen that queue and I seen more than an hour, hey yo, I was seeing red, yo. My blood was boiling. I called Bari. I like, Bari, I'm tired of these stupid lying bastards. They said nobody wanted to. Yo, I was pissed off.
Tight,
I was pissed. But I had like 80 tabs open on multiple different browsers. On my iPad, on my iPhone, on my computer.
Mm-hmm.
It just wasn't, they wasn't trying to let me be great. And I was in queue since like 7 o'clock in the morning. And it was just like, nope. I really wanted the 30th anniversary. I couldn't get that, but I did get the PlayStation 5 Pro console, and I bought the DualSense 30th anniversary, the DualSense Edge 30th anniversary, and I bought the the Portal 30th anniversary. So I was like, all right, I'm happy. I was like, all right, I got what I wanted. I'm good. But it wasn't. Normally, I have smooth experiences with PlayStation Direct. This was probably the worst experience that I've ever had on PlayStation Direct when it comes to how they did that. And the messed up thing is, like, a lot of those 30th anniversary bundles are ending up on eBay, which we knew. You know, scalpers going to scalp. And, you know, now a real fan can't get it. And it's just like, yo, I think PlayStation needs to do a better job in the future when it comes to hot ticket items like that to, like, really prevent scalpers from scalping stuff, man. Like, I don't know what you can do.
You do it.
Hey, yo, listen, start looking at the trophy levels, right? Yo, listen, I'm on some elite shit. What that trophy level look like? If that shit below 400, you ain't getting nothing, man. Like, I'm on that type of energy.
Levels, purchase history, like, yo, you got to have an invite system for something that, like the 30th anniversary is so rare with only 12,300.
And that's not even for like the whole, that's for like the whole world. So America probably only got like 3,000, 4,000, who knows? Come on, man. But yeah, you know, so you know, PS5 Pro was pre-ordered. You know, we good. You know, I'm pretty sure a lot of you in the chat pre-ordered it as well. But we are at the end of the show. And that was a good one, man. If you made it to the end of the show, guys, we got to give you some lovely trophies. And then, of course, that lovely, lovely platinum. 171 platinums. Man, you guys are getting up there. Crazy. But yo, man, listen, Kahlief, thank you so much for rocking out with me and Bari today on episode 171 of What's Up PlayStation podcast. Please, you know, give the people your outro. Let the people know where they can find you. Shout yourself out, man. And, you know, we appreciate you, man.
Man, thank y'all both for having me. Again, I say this with every fiber of my being. You two are doing it the right way. I don't co-sign a lot of people because a lot of people are ass. Y'all and a lot of people don't put in the work. A lot of people don't pay attention. A lot of people don't put good, really smart energy into the work. I want more smart content coming out of the video game space because it is very difficult to see any really good and smart conversations happening these days. There's a lot of dumb shit that people push out into the world, and y'all continue to put out fantastic work every week. So thank you so much for having me and letting me rock. Shout out to the fan Bari, another BX cat from another Mustang in the world.
True, man. Yeah, see it.
Yeah. And y'all can check out the work that I get a chance to do on Spawn on Me. Every Monday is usually when shows go out. If I'm not messing it up, we have a new show talking specifically about State of Play on Monday with me and Cam Hawking, talking about the work that we got a chance to check out.
Cam is a very knowledgeable dude, man. He's a very knowledgeable dude. I like his energy, man.
He's great people, and if you are really into that kind of JRPG space, he's like the dude to talk to. I'll also check out socials in our YouTube channel. I'm going to be dropping some of the Monster Hunter Wilds content that I captured on Thursday on there. You can check that out on Spotify, which is where you can see all the video versions of the show. And please, if we can figure out a way to make it happen for next year, I'm in the throes of getting it all together as we speak. We put on one of the best video game award shows on the planet in the Spawnies. We usually do it. We moved it every year to Black History Month to celebrate us and to give us a good space. So if everything works out, and fingers crossed, if people give me money, I can make that show happen for next year. So keep your ears out for that kind of stuff. And
do you have a donation link for it yet? Or
big it up.
We haven't opened up because we're doing it usually for corporate sponsors. I try not to put that burden on the community, but the way money's working, I might have to. Out.
Hey man,
if it does, you'll see it on @Kahlief on Twitter. I mean, you'll be able to see that stuff. I'll be able to share all that kind of stuff there. So please subscribe to the show. Please check out our TikTok. Please check out all that stuff because we're trying to get our numbers up and make sure that happens. And again, support these brothers. Like the beautiful part about this channel and the work they do, and I see the chat moving. The energy here is beautiful. Y'all continue to make and lift these cats up because they're doing really good work. So please, thank you again so much for having me. And time I'm down. I got to bug y'all to come on and rock on Spawn on Me to come hang out with us and do some fun things there. So you will definitely see that chat very, very soon. We'll get these cats on the show and we'll chop it up, talk more about Iron Me. and all the wonderful happening.
Review coming soon. What's the review? Iron Me.
Oh, I'm getting a tattoo on my chest like that. The belly tattoo.
Yo, listen, man. Big shout out to
Game of the Year.
You know, it really means a lot. You know, the kind words, man. Thank you, Kahlief. And you know, thank you, you know, for making time this Saturday, you know, to come rock out with us, man. It really was an honor and a pleasure to have you on. Shout out to Spawn on Me, 10 years in the podcast game, building your brand. You know, it's definitely a great thing. And you know, if you guys want to support Kahlief and support his show, the links is in the description. So definitely follow him, follow Spawn on Me. All that's in the description. So definitely go and check them out and support him and support his content, man. And thank you again, Kahlief. It really means a lot to us. Thank you, man.
Anytime, fam. Y'all, you knew you got it.
Yes, sir. Yo, Bari, man. Get the people your outro. Let the people know what you got coming.
I ain't got nothing coming out, guys. Nah, man. Once again, appreciate everyone coming through and showing love, man. If you don't mind, go ahead and subscribe to my man Kahlief on Spawn on Me. His channel is dope. Podcast is dope. Like I said, his podcast mate with Cam. Very, very knowledgeable dude. I like the vibes that he has over there. Yeah, follow him on Twitter as well. He's very interactable. It's not like somebody that's gonna just like, all right, let's shun you away. Nah, Kahlief definitely interacts with the community.
Hey, listen, Kahlief with the shits. Don't get it twisted. Kahlief is with the shits.
Yo, if you act up, I'm gonna clown you. But if you chill, like we gonna rock. So, you know.
As he should, man. So yeah, all the links is in there. Shout out to Streamlabs for working. You know what I mean? Put the links in there. So definitely hit the link and subscribe up, man. But also I want to say subscribe to my brothers, Upchup Gaming and Dreology 619. They do a fighting game podcast called Plus on Block Podcast that goes live every Sunday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. They're trying to get to their goal, 500 subscribers, so they can get to do what they got to do and get everything rolling with their podcast. I love their energy, love their chemistry. You know, dedicated fighting game channel with that do podcasting, game lobbies, all that stuff there, man. And those are my bros right there. So I always want to see them grow and the best for them. So definitely go and subscribe. I will be posting the link and spamming that stuff up over as well because we trying to get these people at these goals. You know what I mean? Yeah. So hit the link, people. But yeah, yo, we appreciate all the love. All the likes that the like button people hit. If you hit the dislike button, that's cool too. At the end of the day, we from the Bronx and Queens, man. We might jump, you know what I'm saying? We might jump you.
But, you know where you at.
Yeah, you know, yo, Kahlief, man, I definitely appreciate the kind words, you know, especially when it comes to this community and industry. You know, sometimes people try to tear you down, they try to rip you down, you know, they try to, you know, put this notion in the air that, you know, this podcast is this and that. But yo, really and truly, we definitely appreciate when we hear words like that about what we do here, because yeah, that's the vibe that we try to do. You know, yes, it's PlayStation centric and focused, but you know, we try to speak from the heart and we try to give that raw, you know, authentic impressions or opinions about the brand or the product that we love. You know what I mean? But yeah, we appreciate it. Thank you all. Oh, I do have a video coming up. It will probably release around tonight or Sunday, talking about Metal Gear Solid Delta, you know, going over the second trailer that was shown. You know, just talking about the hype for that game, you know, even though that's a shunned upon thing, you know, to be hype for games. You know what I mean? We gonna be displaying it. But yo, enjoy the rest of y'all weekend. Enjoy y'all Saturday. It's a beautiful Saturday out here. And yeah, play some games. And for those people that's catching the rerun, you know, hit the like button, subscribe. Hopefully you enjoy your stay here, and we'll catch you next week, same time, 11 a.m. with the bro persona, and maybe a guest. We'll see.
We'll see. And as for me, guys, I'm Gaming with Persona. I was your host this week. You can follow me on Twitter at Persona Speaks. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Gaming with Persona. Subscribe to the official WUPS podcast Twitter account as well. And subscribe to the content if you enjoy the content, man. You know. For me, content I got coming, when Persona Speaks will be next week. We'll talk about a couple other things. And yeah, that's really it, man. I really do appreciate y'all. I hope y'all have a great weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Make sure you guys check out Spawn on Me. Make sure you guys follow Kahlief as well. And the links to all that stuff is in the description. And we appreciate y'all, man. Hope you guys enjoy your weekend. And always remember, man, What's Up PlayStation Podcast is a podcast for the community, by the community. And we'll see you guys next Saturday. Same time, same place, same crew, the WUPS crew. And we out, guys. Peace.